And let's see. Both of our runners seem to be using the Big Z.
Big Z hype.
Strength HP. And we're off.
Oh, I see a Dragon Warrior 3 hero. And a Dragon Warrior 2 hero, I think.
Alright, so different we have the descendant of Erdrick and Erdrick himself. Spoilers. So in the chests we start out with gold.
It looks like Centroid's gonna have to reset. Oh, never mind. 2 gold chests. Get back. He's fine.
2 gold chests and a key.
No spells, huge strength, huge agility, huge HP. They are ready to fight.
Yeah, I normally comment that if you open up a chest and don't have enough money for a hand axe, you have to reset. But with 2, you're pretty well good.
JJ Schmidt opting to save, Centroid using the strength to go straight to grinding. He is going to run from a wolf. It looks like the starting zone is kind of small, so he has to retreat a little. But a magician will definitely be okay as long as it doesn't have any crazy abilities.
And so because JJ did save, I assume he might want to be out on the lookout for a town to be able to see if you can buy any weapons.
I am surprised he took a swipe at a poltergeist, but he's not going to be penalized as it had stop spell. Oh, he's going to fight it! I'm really surprised, but he could beat it. I mean, it's close. It depends how many times it used stop spell.
So Centroid had killed the magician, got up to level 2, a few little gains, but nothing major overall. Learned the radiant spell, so not really going to help you out quite early on, but...
I consider this a pretty lucky string for JJ, because Stop Spell never worked, and that allowed him to get this big boost. Both runners very close to even, very close to level 2.
So 1 Poltergeist and 2 is only 1 experience apart, so we'll see who reaches level 3 first, depending on what happens, and it looks like the Magician will most likely be a safe bet for Centroid, whereas JJ found a golem and is retreating back close to home. Level
3 is, of course, what I meant. Yeah, Magicians also have Stop Spell, and that appears to be the star attraction in Zone 0 here.
Alright, so Centroid will be hitting level 3, and with that we have Courage and Wit. We have 5 power, 4 response speed, 2 HP, and 5 MP, no further spells.
So lucky. I can't believe we got Courage and Wit in the same level.
I know, it's unreal. So Centroid chooses to branch out a little bit, finds a golem, runs from the golem, finds the wyvern, runs from the wyvern, and we have an interesting looking map here though. Lots of plain space though.
Easy to walk around, which is nice. They have plenty of agility. Both players very aggressively it's trying to branch out as early as possible and simultaneously using their strength to progress to the next levels. Both characters almost in the exact same location right now.
So they have no way of healing themselves, so at this point they pretty much have to decide if they'd rather just keep their experience and fight through that and lose their money or not. And because they have no way of healing themselves, I assume they will eventually just have to cave in and keep the experience.
Looks like JJ's shying away from that swamp, still opting to try and get as much exploration as possible before he's beaten. And now he is sent back, probably going to finish off level 4 and then continue exploring as Centroid finds a cave, and we'll get to see what it is immediately.
So it's the Tablet Cave. You have 1 chest at the bottom. There are no enemies in this cave, so there's no danger for him, though he tries to take the stairs. Very good for exercise, but very bad in Dragon Warrior. So one thing I also pretty sure I noticed, I believe they are swamp locked on both sides. I think I saw that from Centroid's side.
Stones of Sunlight for Centroid. And he's got to walk all the way out of the cave. This is always a consideration that that can come into play, but when you find the Tablet Cave so early in the game, you just have to check it. You know, there could be the sword, there could be a magic key. You can't let it go. And you've just got to take the long walk out. It's not that bad.
I think it's about 30-ish seconds. So anyway, yeah, there is swamp on the other side. I don't believe it's impossible for them to get around it, but it would put them on a little bit of a disadvantage for health, seeing as they have no way of healing themselves yet.
Both characters simultaneously dying to advanced enemies. Rogue scorpions in the nearby area, which always instantly makes me wonder, will they learn Hurt more early enough to capitalize on those beasts?
Rogue scorpions are very cozy after their shower and they're sitting around the house. Rogue scorpions are very good with fighting with Hurt more. They're worth a fair amount of experience for a guaranteed kill.
JJ looking for magicians, but they can already run away. He found a metal scorpion as well, which means whatever Zone 0 is accessible around the castle, it's a very small area.
So both players are just 1 point behind apart in experience right now, and they're probably only going to be able to fight very similar enemies, seeing as it looks like they're not going to be able to find a town or any other weapon equipment. So it'll be interesting to see what encounters they come across.
Centroid continuing to exploit the Poltergeist's inability to land Stop Spell. A big power boost there and the Spell of Return.
So you can get home very quick, but unfortunately that doesn't help them in their quest to fight more things. So I think right now we're just gonna, see how much people want to power up before they jump into the swamp.
No towns found and lots of different ways to go blocked by swamp. So the challenges still exist. Another golem destroying Centroid, sending him back to the start. JJ continuing to attempt to find enemies in Zone 1 or 2. I'm not sure what the appropriate number is, but the secondary zone.
Yeah, they're very close by, the two of them. I have a feeling that the very first zone is sort of off onto the other side of the water that you can't get to, because we did see, a wolf very close to the castle start?
Yeah, it looks like you're right.
Yeah.
It looks like Centroid's going to find the path of least resistance if he doesn't encounter, unfortunately the Axe Knight has Dragon Lord Breath, but if he had made it to the swamp, it looks like he would have tried to go through and see what was up top there.
And yes, as Lavkian does note in chat, it's Maidenhall versus his great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather.
I read the Dragon Warrior 1 instruction manual. It turns out that you are a 16 generation descendant of Erdrick. I believe it's 16 or 17 in Dragon Warrior 1. So that was the lore as it was originally set out.
Wait, you read the manual? No wonder you're so good at the game.
I know.
So as the runners continue to fight things, they learn the magicians will start to run away from them. Maybe soon we can see them in a fight again, see how their experience is doing. Centroid with 47, and JJ with, I think I saw 29. JJ
running from a wolf. Wolves may have an ability that I missed. I sort of feel like fighting a wolf might be okay, but I don't know. Maybe... No, his HP is pretty low. I guess he doesn't think he would survive it.
Yeah, wolves still hit pretty hard when you have no defense yet.
Metal Scorpion felling Centroid. This is the kind of part where both players, starting out strong, probably feel like they're both at a slight disadvantage, but in reality, both are encountering almost the exact same adversity, and the race remains close as JJ attempts to slightly close the gap in experience with a magician. Only 8 apart now, and Centroid looks like he's brave enough to try a wolf, but they have heal, so they're off the table. What? He's still trying. Oh, he's death warping.
Yeah, at that point, when you have no way of re-healing your HP and you've pretty much kissed your money goodbye at that point, it may as well just refill and try again. So we found a skeleton over on JJ's side. That's got to be a nice little wee bit of experience. He should be closing in on level 4, I believe. Let's see. Oh, he is level 4, actually. Sorry, my mistake.
I believe these players are both 4-0, Lavkian. I believe Centroid beat Zarnax?
Jackamus?
Jackamus,
yes.
That's right. And jjschmidt beat me. I've actually been behind JJ in our last 4 races. 3 of them were larger multiplayer races. So I'm really curious. I haven't actually watched JJ play an entire seed yet, so this is going to be interesting for me. And Centroid, I don't think I've ever seen him play. So yeah, we're in for a big treat here. 2 4-0 players, both heavily experienced, and I'm curious to see if they have something in their playstyle that I'm not aware of or that I'm not considering yet.
So level 5 comes at 82 experience. We're a little bit of a ways away, especially when the nice little things like the poltergeists are running away from you. But hopefully, for both of the runners, they'll be able to find some things and kill them without being run from. JJ is actually quite close. The magician will not quite get there, but probably on the next kill as long as it's not a slime. And we'll be able to see what level 5 brings.
So this is where you see a lot of variance in fighting and exploration. JJ suddenly has taken a big experience lead, but they're both still on the same level, and Centroid is not at all far behind. Centroid once again attempting to go through the swamp, and this time he makes it. We'll see if he can find anything up here. Neither player still has found a town yet.
Centroid finds a druid in a desert. That's relatively friendly enemy to fight early on.
And he's gonna go for it. But unfortunately it dodges, and that's a huge point of variance that sets him back from potential exploration up in that area. Not sure where JJ is going to consider exploring next, but I will bet you he'll explore immediately after finishing this level, which he does.
Yeah, the red slime gets in the level. We get 4 power, 6 speed, 3 hit points, and where's the MP? Not that using Return and Radiant are really all that big a priority right now.
JJ attempting to move up to his first wolf, he will quickly discover they have heal and abandon hope with these guys. And he will also take the Death Warp immediately.
But the wolf did attack that time. Does he have a chance at the kill here? I guess at least not with the 6 for sure. I guess a heal is probably a little bit much for the damage they're doing with the wolves.
Yeah, a heal can almost heal a wolf up to full.
I guess so. I always forget sometimes that the heal is just a little bit stronger than maybe I'm used to in Dragon Warrior, despite the fact that I play this randomizer a fair amount.
It's very deceptive. In the original game, I believe heal heals 10 to 17 HP, whereas for an enemy, I think the minimum it heals is 23 HP. It's something like that.
So the wolves are still kind of one of the favorite things that they seem to want to kill right now, but with that heal spell, they're going to be very pesky.
Pesky wolves.
So JJ is going to take a peek into the tablet cave, is going to find the Stones of Sunlight, and nothing of use has been given to thee. I forget the last time I actually saw that message when you try and look at your items with nothing in it. We learn new things every day here on Dragon Warrior Randomizer.
Yeah, I just learned about a week ago what happens when you try to sell a cursed item like that you're already wearing. I had never seen the message before, or if I had, I'd forgotten. Now, Centroid has found a skeleton, another new enemy that looks to be well within his field of gaining. So, just like that, he's caught up to level 5, and both players remain virtually equal.
Yeah, I think the skeleton is about the best thing they can probably fight right now, providing it doesn't have any secrets that we haven't seen yet. So JJ making his way out of the tablet cave, a necessary trip that both runners, need to make. You're not going to not check the tablet cave just because you have to walk outside.
This is going to be good both for as an entertaining watch and for them as runners to have a strong start, which gives them lots of options, and to face tons of adversity like this.
Ooh.
JJ discovers 2 towns at once. One of them has to be a healing town. The first is Cantlin. He doesn't have much money right now, but there are loads of options. And I love, you can tell, like, when someone enters Cantlin with no money at the very beginning of the game, they're like, can I do anything here? Is there anything I can do?
Yeah, so Cantlin has the most expensive inn in the game. It's 100 gold to stay, though. He chooses to buy some herbs since they have no way of healing themselves on the go. So I'm sure soon we will see what's in the other town.
I personally would have picked up a dragon scale first there, but having 3 herbs gives him a lot more options for healing. Cole is here. Now, we all know what he's hoping for here. Let's take a look. Token!
You see the word Erdrix and you're like, yes! And then you're like, oh, shucks. It is a necessary item, but of course, the armor is the item that everybody is looking for.
JJ opting to Death Warp in the in-town swamp, as he doesn't have enough money for the inn. I suspect if he did, he would have healed and tried to fight outside or continue exploring, but this will work for him. He's not too far from there. He can get back quickly.
Yeah, so that information is very useful. I want to believe that I don't remember what HP we started with, but that would have been a very dangerous walk if you wanted to try and get there without fighting or leveling at all with the starting money.
And I believe Centroid, yeah, he's racked up a bit of an experience lead, not significant at the moment, but that's just a product of JJ's advanced exploration. That's the dynamic imbalance that exists right now. Centroid is just about to get to level 6, and we will see what he gets there. It looks like he's also going to try to recross the swamp.
Yeah, Centroid's choice to go north and JJ's choice to go east are just 2 separate differences, which, of course, just, you never know what you're going to find in the randomizer, but one day, eventually at some point, Centroid will choose to go the other way as well.
Personally, I always love the races, especially the ones I commentate, to be as close as possible. And this is, once again, a perfect balance of 2 players playing extremely well, going different directions, and gaining different things as a result. Neither player is behind. Both players are progressing gradually towards level 6.
Yeah, and it's always fun to see things happen, like, in a very even sort of way. Like, yeah, if Cole had the Erdrick's armor, that would have been, fun for JJ's side, but I think as a racing perspective, it's also fun to see things, not matter so much by getting lucky in the very beginning, just to see, how it turns out over the long period of time.
JJ, the first person to reach level 6, but the stats were minimal except for MP, but still, to this point, neither player has a useful spell.
Hey now, lighting up a cave is plenty useful. You don't have to spend any money on torches.
Useless is too strong a word. They're not useful in combat or...
So with a little bit more money, JJ is going back to Catlin, possibly to see if there's a weapon to purchase, or maybe to restock on herbs. Let's find out.
He might as well at least find out what's in the first shop. He could get a small shield. It looks like bamboo pole's the only option right now, but there is a myriad of valuable options for the near future. He second-guessed and wants to save for the copper sword, it looks like, but now it looks like he might pick up the bamboo pole just for default. No, he's going to try and save it.
Possibly to check the bottom shop, see if there's a club there. Not too much that you can afford with the money he has, but you could buy like a nice club and leather armor.
I'd be very happy with the small shield.
There's a club.
But it didn't appear. Yeah, he should pick up the club, I think. Everything is available in Cantlin, all of the most advanced weapons and armor. And he does get the club.
Yeah, really thinking about that one, but chooses to get the old whack and stick.
I like the idea of giving himself a better chance of progressing for gold for the copper sword or hand axe more quickly, despite the fact that it's a little setback. Going into Cole, he's going to check the shop here as well.
Yeah, I don't think he checked it on the first time through. And we've also... Oh, we can get some clothes!
And you just might as well.
Decency hype! So let's see if we're going over this way. I'm not sure if he has too much money left, but I feel like... Oh, yeah, looks like we're going to the item shop.
It's very rare that I go to this item shop, and I think the last time I did, it was for wings, for a very specific reason in a seed where we didn't learn return. Both players, once again, only 8 experience apart, and lots of exploration has happened between the two of them.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a bit of a little game of how much do you want to level up in what you have available to you before you jump out into the unknown swamp.
JJ really exploring every avenue available to him. He bought a dragon scale and put it on and then sold it just so he could afford 2 herbs.
I mean, I like that move. The dragon scale will just essentially take up space in your inventory, but even if you do sell it, you keep the advantage of the defense. So it's not a bad move, especially if it can help you with getting more resources.
This is a small thing, but I'm just going to mention it because it's been a factor in some of my races before. If you lose the dragon scale, you don't have a way of death warping to set up a gold grind as efficiently. And if the enemies are all easy, it could be trouble, especially with Erdrick's armor. That's always something in the back of my mind.
True enough, I do often think of that as well. I mean, there's always the thought that you could find the fighter's ring, but that one's a little harder to find.
So Centroid, not having found those towns yet, doesn't have access to herbs and still having trouble getting across that swamp. But he keeps electing to go the same way, and I wonder if he's going to change his mind in the near future.
Yeah, he seems to be very set on exploring, possibly taking the eastern point now, but he's choosing to fight a wolf again.
Is he strong enough? I mean, it really doesn't look like it. This seems like a mistake. He might have just forgotten that they have heal. I don't know.
So at that point, it didn't even matter for that battle, unfortunately. Sends him home again. Still very close in experience for the two of them, though. Just, we still do have JJ with the knowledge of the 2 towns and the weapon upgrades.
Yeah, so despite the fact that Centroid has a few more experience points, JJ is technically slightly ahead because it takes time to pick up those weapons and armor that are going to be of help to him. This might be a new cave. I don't think we've seen this.
Yeah, so this is the grave or possibly swamp south. That's the grave. So yeah, you have 3 free chests in here. If the enemies are a little bit forgiving, then Centroid will be able to go to them. But what did I say about forgiving?
At least he knows where it is. I'm sure he'll be right back to check those 3 chests. You never know when Erdrick's sword or a magic key will help you advance rapidly in the early game.
Yeah, and even possibly, knowing where the grave is will propel him into the eastern zone and maybe even be able to catch up in finding the two towns. Meanwhile, JJ is choosing to grind back in the start. Let's see.
He must really not like that wolf zone, because I'm surprised that he's not opting to go for the hills, but I haven't seen exactly what's over there. I know there have been goldmen and golems all over the place. So it's hard to follow absolutely every little detail when watching two players like this.
These skeletons are really good, though, for them.
Oh, that's another thing. He knows there are skeletons there. He must want those. And he's using herbs to go through it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dear me. Centroid does try and go back to the grave, but is taken out by a gold man.
The experience lead once again shifting slightly in JJ's favor this time.
So I have a feeling that Centroid is probably really going to make it his... Oh, never mind. Anything I was about to say. Centroid decides to go a different way and turns around.
He's just trying to mess with you.
No. Maybe he just wants to walk on all the plains tiles.
That would take a long time. I hope the armor is in that little slip there.
Oh, that would just be cute. Easy coordinates and on, like, the miniest peninsula. So, unfortunately for Centroid, a fair amount of health has already been taken off before the beginning. Chooses to run from a slime. That's kind of interesting, where it's a free experience point. Ooh, but we made it up to the chest, so we find some wings. A wizard.
He's got to try to run, but unfortunately he's gonna have to come back if he wants to see what the other two chests hold.
Yeah, that does hurt for him, unfortunately. The wings aren't very useful at this point at all, and you already have the return spell, but... it can be rough in the grave, especially when you have to walk there through swamp and if you get into a fight and preemptively attacked by something.
So skeletons and metal scorpions, you can't fault JJ's intuition here. It looks like this is going to serve him well grinding here, despite the very low encounter rate.
Yeah, that's another thing about walking around on the plains. Your encounter rate's not going to be very often. It's the lowest tile, or yeah, the tile with the lowest encounter rate. But if it has the best enemy set, then sometimes that's all you can really do.
So JJ gradually creeping into an advantageous position as he continues to advance in experience while retaining the equipment that he has, while Centroid unfortunately running into a bit of bad luck with the wolves on the way to the cave, which I assume he's going to be going straight back to Garen's grave.
So 37 experience until the next level on JJ's side. Centroid is for the most part seeming to avoid every single battle. Oh, but he seems to actually still like to fight the wolves, maybe just even hoping for that lucky excellent move to propel him in the right direction.
I mean, he started with an 11. If he gets 3 11s in a row, there it is!
We did kill a wolf!
With 1 HP left, a nice boost for Centroid, putting him back into the experience race.
Very clutch kill. Unfortunately, he's going to know that he can't expect to make it across the swamp or anything like that, but at this point you're pretty much planning on death warping, because you've no way of healing yourself.
JJ retorting with an excellent move against the skeleton. He is now 1 enemy away from showing us what level 7 has to offer.
Could it be the miracle level? We'll find out.
Another skeleton.
Alright, so that will essentially guarantee the next level at this point. Unless skeletons are sitting on 1% Dragon Lore breath they haven't told us about.
1%.
Yeah, I think that's not possible. So,
here we go.
Would you like to call it?
5 power, 7 response speed, 13 HP, 1 MP, and the spell is Hurt More!
We're going to start moving now, folks.
So experience gain, obviously a huge factor in this seed. Suddenly JJ can take out wolves with reckless abandon. 6 Hurt Mores to start with.
So the wizard you can't really cast Hurt More on. I mean, you can try, but it won't work very well. But this pretty much opens the whole seed. Finds a Magiwyvern. I believe that's the most experience you can get for a guaranteed kill. And yeah, it's time to go. Explore. See the land.
I never thought about it that way, but yeah, I believe the Magiwyvern is the highest one. Knights are lower and Rogue Scorpions are lower.
So Hurt More definitely doesn't make you totally, guaranteed to get through everything. There are still things like the Red Dragons. if you're having fun, woo, here they come. They are going to stop you.
Even green dragons, star wyverns, and werewolves, and sometimes even axe knights do not fall to a single Hurtmore, despite the fact that they're vulnerable to it.
Yeah, and even at a lower level, depending on how high your health is, and if you don't have too much of HP resources to heal yourself, it still can be dangerous on those things that can still kill you in 1 or 2 hits.
It's just amazing what a difference Hurtmore makes. JJ just propelling through this next level. Great enemies everywhere, between the wyverns, the wolves, and he's even fighting a poltergeist here. A bit of a surprise, but it didn't take long to take out. I think he was testing to see if he could take it out in 1 hit. He might have been able to. Looks like this is his grind zone of choice.
Yeah, I believe, 600 is the next level?
Yes.
Yeah, so he probably maybe even just wants to get the next level before moving on forward. So Centroid is choosing to explore further, passing the grave for now. Fortunately finds a demon knight that is hurt more and will be sent back home yet again.
Everything going JJ's way so far. The enemy's being cruel to Centroid in all of his exploration endeavors. Very unfortunate, but that's RNG.
He's 79 experience away from the next level as well. So if he manages to get there sometime soon, that'll at least even help him. It'll take away any advantage, that finding the weapons did, since, well, Hurtmore will help you get through most of the enemies.
JJ getting 11 HP and finally learning the heal spell at level 8.
So we're going to be a lot more mobile at this point.
There are rogue scorpions in this zone too. JJ, no reason for him to leave yet, because with 3 Hurtmores, he could get himself very close to the next level already, and as soon as he death warps or stays in a town, he's going to get the next level right away. So things are moving swiftly forward for JJ.
So from the looks of it, Centroid is choosing to go back to grinding a little bit now instead of going out on the exploration, probably hoping to find a miracle at level 7. And well, we know how that's going to turn out.
From the viewpoint of equality, it's unfortunate that Centroid didn't do this earlier, but he's not that far behind time-wise. Of course, when he learns Hurtmore, he's going to be able to also propel rapidly through experience and expand out quickly. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
So JJ, I believe he just picked up a hand axe in Cantlin. Probably will refill some resources as well. We're not going to be able to afford to stay at the inn, but being that we're pretty close to home at this point too, that's not going to matter way too much.
I mean, I guess the hand axe affords you a few extra options when you're low on money, but I am kind of surprised that he didn't just opt to Hurtmore everything. It's going to be a while before he can find an enemy that is not Hurtmoreable, where a hand axe will do anything significant.
Yeah, he could just be thinking that perhaps, even if it's not immediately useful, that he could use it in the future if he happens to not be able to find the sword right away, or, be able to afford any other expensive sword.
Centroid unfortunately being taken down by that skeleton. He could have beaten it, but he is still very close to the next level. 1 skeleton will do it.
Yeah, 14 experience away. You have to think that he's just going to find a few little enemies, give him some punches, see what happens.
I'm still really surprised he's trying to fight wolves. I know he's seen them heal. But there's 23. He could get it right. He actually has a really good chance here. And he nailed it, so props to him.
All right, so through the bravery, courage, and wit, Centroid has come to level 7.
And this is where things get fun.
It's time to go explore, folks.
JJ continuing to get every good Hurtmore enemy under the sun. This time a knight giving him 78 experience. Very close to the next level.
So even though he only has 8 HP, he still does have a few Hurtmores at his end. Unfortunately, the Goldman does take him out. He wants to try and run from it because ultimately the Goldman gives such little experience and a lot of gold. Now look at that peninsula on JJ's map. Is that not just beautiful? Do you just wish there were a bridge at the end of that?
I can just see inside your mind thinking, how much further could that go?
It's kind of beautiful, though.
All right, both players ready to push out, eager to find good Hurtmore targets. JJ opting to use that hand axe for the more menial tasks of chopping up things like skeletons, another 25 experience closer to the next level.
Meanwhile, Centroid does get the Herdmore on a rogue scorpion. Of course, the dream chooses still not to go over that swamp. We do know that the towns are right there, but maybe now he will try the grave. He will not. He will keep exploring, going down, and in a couple steps, assuming nothing takes him out, Centroid is going to find the town of Cole and Cantlin.
JJ opting to take the extra charge from the Cantlin Inn as opposed to Cole, just so he can pick up some more herbs, being very efficient in keeping himself safe. He probably does not want to use any heal spells at all so that he can maximize his hurt more. Of course, he can use one heal spell without losing them.
So Centroid goes into the town of Cole, picks up the token, goes to see what's in the shop. He's got 186 money. I think the copper sword wasn't here. No, so he chooses to buy the club.
And I'm sure he'll get the clothes too.
Decency hype.
Both players are decent.
He could also be thinking definitely that there is the item shop as well down there. And looks like that is the plan.
I can't remember the last time I went to the item shop in Cole, but here goes Centroid. He'll probably get a dragon scale and probably get some herbs for healing. You never know how much they could help him explore a little further and get some more hurt more targets.
And yeah, that's a good point brought up in chat that Centroid would probably be happy to see the token. It's always a worry if you find a majorly important item right next to the starting castle, because then you always wonder, did my opponent get here? And of course, you always think, yes, my opponent got here. Why am I so behind? So at least if you find the token, you know that you haven't been missing out on any major items. So JJ finds the grave, perhaps, casts outside, possibly hoping that it's the swamp cave. I mean, I kind of like that play.
I'm sure that was an accident, but...
No, it's a real legitimate strategy. Cast outside, see if it's swamps out. So he also does find the red dragon. He can survive one hit, but with their agility, running from them isn't all that likely.
Earlier he had incredible luck running from an armored knight first try, but the red dragon is the fun police. You don't mess with them.
No.
Until later.
If you're having even a slight amount of fun, and the red dragons can sense that when you learn the Herdmore, it's Peninsula time on Centroid's side. Now, I know we mentioned that tiny one-tile thing next to the castle being a nice search spot, but can you imagine how happy I would be if the armor or something were out on that peninsula?
I don't think you'd be able to continue commentating.
I think I would probably just be able to quit Dragon Warrior Randomizer, because I don't know if we'd get any better than that.
Zedman pointing out that it was indeed the same red dragon stopping both players early in the grave, as Centroid finding a knight as a hurt more target, and very rapidly attempting to close the gap. Now, once again, both players having hurt more being about 500 experience apart, it is not a big gap, and Centroid is not at a huge disadvantage right now. This is still a race that could swing in either player's favor. Way too early to call, for sure.
Yeah, so JJ with level 9, nothing major coming out of that one. It was level 8, I believe, that we got the heal spell, correct?
That sounds right.
Yeah, because it was the one after the Herdmore, which was 7. So, Centroid will definitely be a little more self-sufficient at that point, but no major differences in between their levels right now, especially because Herdmore is going to be doing the majority of the damage right now.
JJ going back for the 3 treasure chests atop the grave as Centroid fighting a poltergeist. Both players seeming to think that fighting the poltergeists is a good idea when going for hurt more enemies in that zone. It seems to be working for them, so you can't fault that decision.
Oh, these guys are just having way too much fun right now.
Indeed. Now Centroid branching out even further, looking for new territory. We'll see what he discovers in the far east.
Yeah, we've got some pretty nasty enemies right next to the Tentagel Castle. Like the golems, they hit hard. They're not terrible to run from, but they pack a mean punch. And the demon knights are really pesky to deal with until your agility gets up there. Fortunately, he does run, does have some herbs to heal himself, Centroid, and we'll continue walking.
Another rogue scorpion for JJ as Centroid continues to branch out further.
And now we're going in opposite directions. I don't believe JJ had actually headed out this way yet, but we never did discover anything when Centroid came over this way.
Yeah, I didn't see him find anything, so we'll see if JJ has any better luck getting a little further up there.
I mean, he found a lot of death over here.
Indeed.
You don't want to find that, though.
Not always.
That's not really optimal. Sometimes you do, I guess, but...
Sometimes you want to find it in necklace form in a box.
Alright, so we find more swamp and a town in the swamp. What little beauty could this be? It's Remolder!
You know, if Centroid had found this earlier, this would have been such an interesting imbalance for Centroid to have keys earlier and JJ to have what he had earlier. As it stands, Hurtmore is the great equalizer, obviously. Hurtmore is the thing keeping these players close together right now. And we'll see what Centroid finds on his way out. You never know. You might find, for example, the Mountain Cave with Erdrick's sword. Or a magic key.
Why not both?
Or both.
So we'll see. There's one singular treasure chest down in the bottom here. We'll also see what's in the store here. With 300 gold, he would probably just be looking for a chainmail. Nothing else of interest for JJ at the moment.
He knows the Cantlin has all the later stuff, so yeah, he's just looking for immediate purchases.
Yeah, yeah, even with the chest, I don't believe he'd be able to afford the half plate, but we found the fighter's ring. So put that on. It's bugged in the original version, but McGrew was so kind to fix it, so the fighter's ring actually has some function and gives you 2 attack power?
2 attack power.
Mm-hmm.
It probably won't make much difference throughout the game unless you get it right at the beginning on a low strength seed, but at the end of the game, it's a difference maker against the Dragon Lord. It's basically like having 1 extra heal more in most cases.
So we're doing a few little pirouettes here, probably just to replenish our keys, and leave the town, and do a pirouette, and maybe going to replenish our keys this time. Meanwhile, Centroid had a little bit of a difficult encounter with the Armored Knight, but managed to run away, and unfortunately got back attacked by the next one he found. I did miss that earlier, though. He has made it to level 8, so now Centroid has the heal spell as well.
More fairly bad enemy RNG for Centroid, but he has continued to close the gap in experience once again, as JJ spends little time in Remolder. Both players with powerful armaments at their disposal, anything can happen.
Yeah, and you never really know at this point, too. I mean, having the keys is definitely another advantage for JJ at this point. But it actually looks like Centroid might be heading that way, so maybe he will find Remolder in the swamp anyway.
I'm really happy to see that right now. Another equalizer between the two of them. You know how much I want to see them finish close together.
Nest Cardinality rooting for the overtime, so we've got a treasury. King Lorik loves the herb, saving some money. A dragon scale, just in case the one JJ bought earlier wasn't enough, and a torch.
So gold in the bottom left chest, gold grinds are possible, and JJ knows that all the expensive equipment is nearby.
Yeah, so with the grave, it could be possible that now that he has keys, he might want to choose to try that out, but at the same time, knowing there are red dragons in there, it might be a little bit intimidating still.
Centroid just 1 enemy away from the next level, very carefully going through the swamp and healing as he continues to explore.
And so at the bottom...
Swamp South.
Yep.
So he's going to cast outside immediately, see if he gets into Garinham.
Middle of nowhere.
There's Remolder for Centroid, and we are in great shape for a nice tight race between 2 very strong players.
Mm-hmm.
Centroid 2 experience away from the next level, by the way.
Yeah, did you say 1 enemy away from the next level? You meant 2.
Totally.
And then he found a blue slime. That's not real. Sparko's telling stories. So Centroid has plenty of money, is going to be able to buy a full stock of keys. I don't believe is going to be buying anything from the Remolder shop. What was in the chest? Was it money? It was either money or a torch in the chest over here.
I'm guessing it was a torch then. I don't think it was money.
Alright. Don't you love it when you trade 2 keys for a torch? Isn't that a great deal that you would always take?
Even more than that, I like trading 2 keys for a key.
Yeah, it's even discount.
I recently found 2 magic keys in the Tantagel treasury.
I don't know, though. I'm kind of a little bit concerned. Like, what sort of world do you go around into that you can just break into someone else's room in the inn? Like, that's not really nice.
Fighter's Ring was the item in Remolder.
Ah, that's right.
And Centroid taking the keys straight back to Tantagel after what little he's found. You can't blame him for wanting to explore 4 treasure chests plus a cave immediately.
So we found another cave down on JJ's side. What are we still looking for? Stones of Stones of Stunlight? What the heck?
One player has those.
I mean, the Stones Cave, the Shrine Cave, the Jerk Cave. Have we found all the Dark Caves? No, we haven't found Mountain Cave yet. But this is where you exchange the Silver Harp for the Staff of Rain. Neither player has found that one yet, so just have to take note of that and go for it later. Just a reminder for everyone to hydrate.
Another night for JJ, putting him stumbles upon Sharlock and will take a walk around to see if anything's nearby. Once again, JJ proving me wrong. He was 2 enemies away as he fights a skeleton.
Yasna is up to NG notes in chat. They do know where to go for coordinates, so that'll be the first one to go there. We'll be able to find out if there's an item on the map and, well, how far away it is, if so.
1-3, another huge HP gain, and they learn the spell of Sleep, which could be a factor if they happen to run into things like Stone Men.
Yeah, it's not always a thing that you think about a lot, but it does have its utility. So we've got a Wraith Knight with Dragon Lord Breath, kind of spicy.
I believe that's the second enemy we found, but I don't remember what the first one was. Centroid going back into the treasury now. I think he meant to do that. I'm not sure. Okay, never mind. Enough speculation.
On with the exploration. So as we're getting a little bit more agile, you'll see more running from those pesky golems. You can cast Hurt More on them, but they still have too much health to really make it worth it at this point.
And Centroid has had enough. He said, take the Hurt More, give me the 6 experience from a gold man, I want that level.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes you might just avoid them because they're not really worth it, but if you know it's going to give you the next level, it's always happy to just, get it over with. So Centroid, we have near Cole and Cantlin. I assume he's probably going to want to go and get some coordinates. And here we have, going into Cole, not having enough money to buy anything useful there, but probably will buy something in Cantlin. So we've got JJ heading back to the chests in the grave. Another red dragon, or maybe the same one over and over again, stops him from being able to find out what is there.
He really likes it there.
Yeah, he's cozy. So we could buy a hand axe on Centroid's side, but he chooses to go and see what's in the other shop. And also with keys, chooses to go into the third shop. We haven't seen this one yet. A half-plated or a large shield, I think, would be the most likely things he would want, given that he's got 1,000 gold and change.
And both players know the gold grinds are possible, and they both know where the grave is. That's gotta be something that they're thinking about setting up in the near future. I'm actually kind of surprised that neither player's headed straight to the grave. I know JJ took one shot at it and it didn't work out. He might be going back right now.
Yeah, with the red dragons there, it's pretty intimidating. I mean, both players have tried multiple times to go in there and just have been sent back.
As long as you've seen the treasury, the one visit to those top 3 chests is all you need. So sooner or later, both players will get in there and set up a gold grind.
So Centroid buys a hand axe and a chainmail. Confirmed, confirmed. Hand axe, the hero's choice weapon for today.
Is that capital OK, period, question mark?
So JJ tries yet again, and of course the red dragon says, nope, I'm hungry. So we are walking to talk to this old man in Cantlin behind the doors. What does this old man do?
The old man is going to give us coordinates to one of the 3 special items in the game. Either the Fairy Flute, Erdrick's Armor, or, what's the other one? Erdrick's Token, right. We've already found that one, so it's not going to be the token. It's also possible that the Fairy Flute will be in a treasure chest and there will be no coordinates. But here we have 35 north, 21 west. So that's very close and walkable for both players. And if it's the armor, that will help Centroid a lot.
So next question, why is this man behind all these danger tiles? Is he just really antisocial?
Well, I mean, if you want the serious answer, it's just a means of making him less accessible earlier on, or making it more difficult to find him and showing that he's important.
I want the backstory answer, though.
Well, I'll have to give that some thought.
All right. So it looks like we are counting on Centroid's side. Definitely in the dream of having it be the armor.
I'm not going to commit to counting along with him, but I'm sure he's going one step at a time, so I'm sure he's not going to make a mistake. I'm sure he's going to find it just fine.
Yeah, from what we've seen, I believe it should be pretty straightforward.
With Hurtmore, Centroid's certainly going to take a shot at the Axe Knight, and such bad luck to do max damage and not take him out.
And then, of course, have Dragonlord Breath sent back on him.
Of course.
Though, I mean, to be fair, the Axe Knight's really just looking out for himself.
I didn't say it wasn't fair.
Lavkian notes in chat, the old man is trying to keep the thieves out. It's true, we have no proof that we're not a thief. We only have proof that we're the, descendant of Erdrick.
Centroid, it looks like he's going to go through the swamp cave again and try a different means of exploration. And neither player has set up a gold grind yet. A rough Garen's Grave and the mountain main.
So Centroid, I didn't even see what happened on his side. Maybe just, right, the Axe Knight had taken him out. Maybe he's just going to see what is the enemy down guarding the princess, being it so close to the start and also good information for the future.
He could double Hurtmore it. I think he wants to get coordinates out of this.
Mm-hmm. Or rather, Gwaelin's Love. Unfortunately, the Blue Dragon has a fairly decent resistance to Hurtmore, rather.
I'm pretty sure it's 7 out of 16 resistance.
Yeah.
So, not automatic by any means.
So, both Erdricks taken out by a dragon and sent home pretty much in sync here.
I took a hydration break. Stay hydrated, everyone.
Very important. So we're about 1,000 experience in between the two of them, and both players have very different thoughts of what to be doing with their time right now. Centroid very focused on the coordinates, and JJ looks like he's just leveling up a little bit more right now.
I think if Centroid finds the armor here and makes use of his keys to set up a gold grind, that is what could give him the advantage as JJ continues to press forward in experience. And I shouldn't say advantage because it's really just an offset. We're going to have to see where the two paths merge towards the end of the seed. And that's what really interests me.
Yeah, so JJ's taking the grinding part. I'm curious. I want to peek at how close he is to the next level. I think he's probably within about 100, maybe 200 at most.
Yes. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
42.
We're right there. Just about any, slightly beefier enemy will do it, but I think we might be jumping into the grave again.
Healing up before he does so as Centroid gets past the swamp, gets a Druid Lord in the process. Still gaining experience as he presses towards what he definitely hopes will be the armor.
Oh, is it actually?
That's nice.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's only the Fairy Flute, unfortunately. Now he knows Hawksness has the armor.
Okay, I mean, that's a little bit of consolation. It wasn't the Long Peninsula, and it wasn't the Beside the Castle Peninsula, but it was the little bloop in the desert, and I really appreciate that. Alright, so on JJ's side, we've gotten to the next level. What do we have? 14 power, that's a nice boost. 8 agility, 2 hit points, 5 MP, and a new spell, which is...
Repel.
Ah. So I always like to have Repel when you learn Hurtmore, just because then you don't have to worry about the small battles that you probably wouldn't be Hurtmoring anyway.
Yeah, Repel, I love having Repel. I do not like having it in the first 3 or 4 levels. I don't want to repel anything at that point.
Mm-hmm. So JJ does run away from the Armored Knight. We're out of MP at this point, but we have made it to the chest, so we pick up the wings. I don't think he ever got those. Found the Cursed Belt, beautiful. We search, find a treasure box, and take the herb. So unfortunately, for him. Not too much exciting there, but we can now go towards the bottom of the grave and also potentially set up a gold grind.
Yeah, it makes sense that... Oh, wow, he's just going to attack. He's not even going to try to run. Without any MP, it would be a long, dangerous, unlikely journey down to the bottom. But look at this. Centroid has found the mountain cave. He, too, can set up a gold grind now, and you never know. He might find the sword in here.
So yeah, with those 3 chests, that will be enough to set up the gold grind as long as JJ remembers which chests they are. And I'm sure any runner will be taking note of which one is which. So we might see some very close gold grinds to each other. Of course, Centroid has a little bit more exploration to do before that starts. But JJ right now has to do the item management grind, which is, if your inventory is full, they question if you want to keep it or not. So we have found the death necklace on Centroid's side. First item in the mountain cave could come into play depending on how much... I mean, their health is pretty high right now, but you never know by the end of the game. So down to the 2nd floor of the mountain cave, we are going to top chests first. We find the other cursed belt in the other dark cave. Beautiful. Why do you like it, Sparko? Found a torch. And on JJ's side, we are grinding for the gold.
Unfortunately, an armored knight in the mountain. Very unfortunate to see. It's nice to see that armored knights have weak fire breath, giving Centroid a glimmer of hope here, but he is stopped again, and he'll be sent out with 2 treasure chests remaining in the mountain cave.
So at least some consolation for him. He will also be able to set up the gold grind here. So I believe we did see each of the most expensive items in Cantlin, right?
Yes.
So we'll see how high these players will grind up. Are we going to go up to, what is it, 33,000-ish?
32,300.
Pretty close.
I always get a little extra just in case I need to buy some keys or something I don't think of. Maybe some fairy water if we don't have repel.
Oh dear, but unfortunately Centroid has opened the chests in the wrong order and lost his gold chest. So he's getting many axe ghosts. Oh, but the axe ghosts have run out.
No, they haven't.
No, we found another axe ghost. Fantastic days. But yeah, unfortunately for him, he's going to have to set up another gold grind if he does want to go shopping further. So it looks like JJ is committed to the 3 big items. He's going to buy the best things you can buy with all your money. Past that, Erdrick's sword and the armor are the only things that you can find on, well, somewhere in your journeys. And I think we've confirmed now that the armor is going to be in Hawksness.
Yes.
And aside from that, what chests have been unopened? The 2 at the bottom of the grave, 2 at the bottom of the mountain cave, the Stones of Sunlight. And I think that's it, except for Sherlock, of course. Right? Oh no, Gatternam. Right. And speaking of that, one of those caves is going to be in there.
Centroid now opting for the closer option for the gold grind.
Yeah, now Centroid already did open up the top 3 chests here, but it looks like he is opting to go up so he can set up a grind.
Yeah, this cave is so dangerous. Both players know it.
And yeah, saving on the way to a shop after a giant gold grind is always a good idea. Even if you know, can you hear my air quotes, that it's safe, it's still a good decision, just in case something takes you out. And you're right, I was mistaken that Centroid had only opened the 1 chest. So this is information for him either way, and he will, well, we'll see if he decides to take the death right away, if he chooses to explore, or if, you know, a red dragon or an axe knight, or armored knight rather, will decide for him if his journey is over in here. So JJ just snaking his way down to Cantlin, arrives, and will be doing some shopping right now.
2 big items in this shop, and then 1 more in the shop below. I believe that's the distribution.
Support your local businesses, folks. Shop at Cantlin.
Hey, in Dragonware, Cantlin is the least local town of all.
Where does the hero come from? Where does the hero live?
Tantagel? I thought.
Does he?
Maybe. Maybe I have to reconsult the manual.
Please go reconsult the manual and get back to homework. So we're coming up on the first of the deeper chests down in the grave, traditionally carrying a cursed belt, today containing gold.
Now, I don't think JJ's bought the flame sword yet, which means he's going to have to dig himself out of here. He has plenty of MP, but it's going to take longer than death warping. Oh no, Droll Magis have fire breath, Dragon Lord breath.
So again, with the consolation that Centroid can do the gold grind this time, and
Indeed.
I want to believe that he's going to do it in the proper order, and he chooses not to, okay?
I'm going to go grab the manual while nothing's happening.
So JJ gets the coordinates. We'll get to see if JJ is going to decide to count them out rather than walk for it. And taking the very nice, safe healing walk out of here. Yeah, Centroid was able, in theory, to do the gold grind there, but chose not to. Not sure if that was intentional on his part, or just forgetful, if he has other plans. And JJ has made it out of the old man's land. Still has not bought the flame sword yet, though. And JJ is leaving town. Was it that the flame sword was in coal, perhaps? But yeah, it could be... Did Centroid run out of keys? Is that what happened?
Oh. I didn't think of that. No.
No, it looks like I think he only purchased 5 keys, so that wasn't a thing. It could be possible, unless I miscounted there and missed one. Oh, that was 6. Okay, I miscounted there, my apologies. Yeah, so unfortunately, key management is a pretty important thing to do in the game because you can run into a situation like that. It looks like there's a town up there, or a cave. Oh wait, that would be the mountain cave.
So 2 things. First of all, you are not related to King Lorik. He is just someone who Erdrick bequeathed the Balls of Light to. And secondly, it's King Lorik who was descended down, like it's King Lorik the 16th who you are talking to in the game, and it was King Lorik the 1st who consulted with Erdrick himself. So about 15 generations have passed since the start of the story, just so we all know and we're on the same page.
Alright, we're very clear now. I mean, depending on, Oh, we found the silver harp in the mountain cave.
And 1 more chest to go.
Choosing what to drop, choosing to drop the dragon scale. And carrying on. Meanwhile, we have JJ counting out the coordinates. We know he's getting a little bit close.
But as far as the hero himself, the descendant of Erdrick, he doesn't appear to have lived anywhere. Sort of a mysterious figure who appears one day to hopefully defeat the Dragon Lord.
So unfortunately for Centroid, a wizard takes him out before he's able to get to the final chest of the mountain cave.
A lot of chests shrouded in mystery in those 2 caves for both players.
I believe he only did open 1 on that visit to the mountain cave, so no gold grind available this time. I think JJ had passed the coordinate spot, or was it further up? I thought it was in that little desert down there. Yeah, it definitely isn't in the swamp, so I suppose he is miscounted somewhere. JJ choosing to talk to the swamp, seeing as if he can just call out to what he hopes is the armor, but we know is the flute. So Centroid goes back into the grave. You've got to think that a gold grind is in his mind here, and it definitely is as he goes straight up to the top 3 chests. And JJ, unfortunately for him, is totally lost, not quite knowing where the coordinates lead to. He's most likely going to have to recount these.
JJ still has an 1100-ish experience lead. But if he didn't find the coordinates, he's going to have to come back. Now he's going into the mountain. See if we find out this time what's in that last chest.
Yeah, I believe this is the first time JJ has come to the mountain cave.
So he'll discover the death necklace first, the silver harp next, and then we'll see if he gets to chest number 5.
So Centroid gets to level 10. That's the one with the large hit points, not too much else. Meanwhile, JJ is getting, I think it's about 300, 250 experience away from the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, so JJ picks up the death necklace, chooses to drop the wings.
And again, Centroid facing unfortunate... No, wait a second. He's getting a death warp for the gold grind. This is actually a good thing.
Again, gold grind is in play here. You can do it, Centroid. We all believe in you. Let's go shopping. Because this is what all the legendary heroes need to do. Let's go to the mall! Yes, I can hear all of your face palms right now.
Alright, he's opened enough chests. He's ready. He's gonna open the middle one just in case. That's just one of those things you second guess it and you want to be careful. You do not want to lose this chest.
Yeah, especially after making that mistake like that earlier, you really want to be sure that you can not do that improperly. Lorgan asks in chat if they found the staff shrine. I believe JJ has made it there. It was just a little bit further south, I believe, of the Kowlin Coltams. Somewhere in that area, at least. I don't believe Centroid has been there yet, though.
JJ stopped by the Fun Police, and I wasn't watching too closely, but I believe he also did not get that last chest in the mountain cave.
What mystery!
Indeed.
So Centroid continues to grind up. I assume we're going to be going for all of the big items here. And JJ is choosing to count again out the coordinates. We do have a beautiful landmark ourselves to know where it is, but he's going to have to decide for himself if he's able to do this, or if perhaps he wants to rescue the princess. So we're halfway to Centroid's full amount of money. JJ finding many encounters. Finding a golem. Oh, JJ, if only you knew, soon you'll be using that fairy flute, or not, to get away from golems. It is a safety strategy, but once you get to the mid-levels, you can usually run from them pretty well all the time.
Yeah, golems surprisingly low agility, so you'll do high damage to them, and you'll be able to run away from them relatively easily. Gold grind just about wrapping up here. 1 or 2 more chests for Centroid. He's got 32,300 plus 15 gold, and he's on his way. He's going to save first. Because it's a dangerous world out there, and he needs to hold onto this.
So I'm starting to wonder if perhaps JJ wrote the wrong coordinates, perhaps? Because he keeps going further north than he needs, but it also could just be a product of it being a very windy path.
I mean, wasn't it just north and west? Well, you know, once you go east initially.
It's that little...
I know what it is, but, like, you only have to go east, and then it's just north and west. It shouldn't be too hard. So I think you're right in the first place. I think he wrote down the wrong number. You can see he's going a little extra distance here.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, as a little bit of recap as we're going over in the chat, we have not found the Jerk Cave yet, the man who will convert your Stones of Sunlight, Staff of Rain, and Token into the Rainbow Drop. We haven't found the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave yet. One of them has to be in Garenham, which is a town that does have also 3 chests in the back.
JJ maintaining his 1,100 experience points lead. And finally, Centroid able to buy all 3 items in Cantlin. He'll get 2 from this shopkeeper, and then move south.
So JJ abandoning the count again, going back into the mountain cave and find final items are. Meanwhile, Centroid is doing the shopping, has found the magic armor and silver shield.
Flame Sword's in the bottom place, but I'm not sure. He probably didn't check it before, so he wanted to check both. And now he can also buy some keys. And he just barely saves enough money for the Flame Sword. Problem there.
So we've got the next level over on JJ's side. 2 power, 0 agility, 3 hit points, and 10 MP.
There's the Flame Sword for Centroid. Both players with the most powerful non-Erdrick equipment.
But I mean, JJ's playing as Erdrick. Isn't technically anything he's wearing Erdrick's equipment?
Technically.
But still not the greatest ones he will ever own. But you kind of wonder why he's finding his own things. Just lying around.
Silver Harp for JJ. And you gotta figure now he's going to make the final chest. Dropping the Fighter's Ring to pick up the Silver Harp. Now that's a weird assortment of equipment management. You can hold the harp if you drop this little ring.
Yeah, in real life physical things there. How does that make sense? Maybe it's just when you hold the harp, it sort of rubs your ring on your finger and that really feels uncomfortable to you, so you just choose to ditch it.
Totally. The Fun Police trying to prove me wrong, encountering JJ, but he does manage to run away. He's getting close to that last chest. But here's another one, and he runs away again.
What? He's got 60 agility. That's quite a bit. Though unfortunately now the wizard giving him trouble after the clutch runs from the red dragons, but we do make to the final chest and find gold! Not really what he wanted to find, unfortunately for him.
Now Centroid is back on the overworld and exploring, so he will be able to do some experience catch-up. I'm not sure what JJ's next move is. I imagine he's got some exploring to do to find those locations that neither player has seen.
So unfortunately, Centroid is sent back home with the Dragon Lord breath, courtesy of the Wraith.
And likewise, oh, maybe he'll survive. JJ taking an Armored Knight, but another... So unlikely, and JJ sent back by the Armored Knight.
So yeah, Hawksness is the last major thing for us to find, other than the Jurek as well. And I mean, as far as locations on the map, there definitely are chests to find the sword.
Grinham's pretty major, with a cave and 3 chests.
Yes, but yes. I mean, if you find Gowdenham, you find the Jurek in there, you find the sword in there, you're pretty much set as long as you find Hawksness as well.
JJ preparing to do the count again. Looks like he's going pretty... Oh, he's charting his place over to the top of the water there, I see.
Yeah, perhaps for his sake we'll find a little bit more accuracy here. So Centroid goes to the Shrine Cave, as I call it. Does it have an official name?
I call it the Shrine Cave.
Alright, maybe that's where I got the name from. Exchanges the harp for the Staff of Rain, and now he has all the necessary items to create the Rainbow Drop.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the reason I called it that is because in Dragon Warrior it is referred to as a shrine where you can get the staff.
I mean, I suppose in the Dragon Warrior on the original non-randomized version, it's a staircase and doesn't quite look like a cave.
Right.
Maybe we adapted it for Randomizer.
JJ taken down to 1 HP and does manage to hurt more of the Axe Knight. Meanwhile, Centroid taking out a werewolf near Sharlock, and then a knight. And this will give him level 11, so once again, both players only separated by a single level. Anything can happen at this point. JJ is in the middle of counting out the coordinates. And I can't help but wonder, like, if he goes too far again this time, it'll probably mean that he wrote down the wrong number. But we'll see. I didn't see what happened before, and I'm going to watch a little closer this time. Another werewolf for Centroid. It's a very nice progression in experience right now.
So we're checking out to see what's in Sherlock's backyard. Looks like we do have a small little bridge of land that you can go down on. We haven't seen a bridge this seed, have we?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh,
That's the wrong place
not
again.
Not quite, but we're not as far up as we're supposed to be this time.
That's true. Okay, he realizes that it's not down there. He's going back up. He didn't even search a tile.
And we're going further up again.
No, it's this one here, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Sorry,
and he got
my
it.
mistake.
Oh, no!
No, JJ!
He was there!
You were there, JJ.
And he's going further up again. So 3 times, you gotta figure it's a number issue.
Ooh!
Oh!
Come on,
There
JJ!
it is!
Woo!
Well
And he found the
done.
fairy flute.
Well done, JJ. I know it's disappointing that it's the fairy flute, but you did it and you can move on.
I feel like we need to have like the little Price is Right losing sound for whenever you do an epic search and pick up the fairy flute. Very good gusto, but it's gotta be disappointing, unfortunately.
Centroid running from Fun Police, JJ running from a golem, both players in exploration mode.
And now both players do have the information that they definitely need to find Hawksness to find the armor, though they can probably take out most enemies in Hawksness. Some of them will be tricky without heal more, but other than a red dragon, I feel like it should be somewhat doable.
I saw a town on the other side. Now, I'm not sure if that's a place that they've been to on the main continent, or if that's somewhere that Centroid can get around to. I don't know if he saw it or not either.
I didn't see that, unfortunately, but it looks like it's very windy to get down there. If not impossible from here, depending on which side of the continent we're on. So, speaking of that main continent, Centroid's going there! Sorry, Centroid. The armored knight is cruel.
Gotta get those hurt mores back somehow and continue to gain experience while you explore. It is a shame you couldn't find something like Brecconary on instead, but it seems to be the nature of this seed this time. Both players have been given plenty of trouble by these difficult enemies.
Yeah, as not exciting as Brecconary is, it's sometimes a little bit of a boon to find just in the middle of a field somewhere when you're, almost out of MP, HP, have no resources, and just really want a nice place to sleep.
That's where Brecconary belongs, in the middle of a field.
I mean, hey, they've got the best priced inn in town, and it's the largest one. It's like the best value for your money that you can get. I don't know why people don't like this town so much. Let's hear it for Brecconary. Yay! No? No? Okay.
No, I'm all for it. As a kid, I would always the cheapest possible option. I was so gold-minded. I think the way I played it as a kid was, oh my, another level for JJ. And it's a big one. Big power, big HP.
13, 3, 13, and 1. Though still no heal more.
But yeah, as I progressed through Dragon Warrior as a kid, I would always buy every weapon and every armor progressed. So gold was a big deal, and I was always trying to save as much of it as possible as a result.
So hold on now. Level 13 had 213 stats. Is that not fun?
Numbers are fun. Patterns are fun.
And also the other level, the other amounts were 3 and 1. So, hi, Guttenham.
Another plus for Centroid. Let's see if the sword is here and what that cave is.
So we replenish a key. Get a torch. But do we take it? We do take a torch. No, we give up a torch. And a fairy water. And so there's a cave in the back of the town here. It's either going to be the Jerk Cave or the Stones of Sunlight Cave. Ta-da! We can make a rainbow drop, folks.
It is the Jerk Cave, so it's a definitely the rainbow drop in his possession, especially if the sword is in Sharlock. This could give him a counterbalance.
So nice cardinality. Why do we call it the Jerk Cave?
Well, you see, Sparkover. In that cave resides a jerk. If you enter the cave without Erdrick's token and attempt to talk to this fellow, he'll say you failed in your task, and he will cast you out of that cave with a spell. You will be cast out, literally, beyond your control. Then if you come back and get the rainbow drop and talk to him again, he will say, "Thou hast no business here, go away."
Huh. But I mean, what kind of person would give this old, innocent man the title of a jerk? For those of you who aren't aware, it was me, Sparkover, all along.
Sparkover self-plug. That's not the only thing that Sparkover has coined for this randomizer.
So we're fighting along through the towns, through the towns?
Through the towns.
Through the lands. We only have a few chests unturned, and I want to imagine that Hawksness is on the mind of the runners just because, well, they know the armor is there. They want that armor. Erdrick's armor. It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
Oh.
In fact, it does no less than 6 different things.
Whoa. Could you name them all?
I sure can. Do you want me to? I was going to leave it up to the folks to try and figure out, but... Alright.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe we should pause for a moment here. I'm looking at some towns over on JJ's side.
Some towns, you say?
Yeah, some towns that we haven't seen before.
So Brecken... Garenham is one of them, sorry.
Oh, so what was the one up top? Oh, it was Hawksness. High Spirits can name them all. I bet you could, High Spirits. I grant you the floor.
The floor is yours.
the chat floor, at least.
Oh, such bad luck again. The Wraith Knight on Centroid's side avoiding the Hurtmore. Alright, so error list starting to list. High Spirits good. There's the defense, the HP recovery, stop spell, immunity, damage tile immunity.
By the way, the slicing, dicing, Julian fries, that's probably Erdrick's sword.
Does it blend?
So JJ is going to be headed down to the Jerk. Had he traded in the staff? I don't believe he had, and he doesn't believe he has either, so he turns around and leaves.
Number 5 is Hurt and Hurtmore resistance, and number 6 is Fire Breath resistance, both approximately 1/3 resistance. Error names them all.
And yes, it's also very fashion-forward, another bonus. So we're about to find out what is the Guardian in Hawksness, and what is it guarding? Oh wait, the armor, we knew that already. But, what could be hiding here? The Axe Knight. Pretty good news for them. Often will die to 1 Hurtmore. They do have the Dragon Lord Breath, but there it goes down in 1 Hurtmore, and we find the armor.
So Centroid already has the Rainbow Drop. He can stay here and grind, where JJ probably still has a little more exploration to go. But 2,000 points experience between them, that is a full level, and it's going to be a serious detriment to Centroid, but we'll see how quickly he can grind it back up.
Yeah, if anything, I'm pretty sure we did see JJ go into the Shrine Cave, so he might just want to stick around here and at least grind until he's out of MP.
It is, like, the worst feeling ever to be strong enough to beat the Dragon Lord and have something you have. And another terrible bout of luck, actually for both players being taken out by an Axe Knight.
So, at least on JJ's side, he does have the armor, whereas Centroid, well, definitely wants to go back and find it, but knowing something with Dragon Lord Breath is guarding the armor is, well, kind of cruel. An error mentioning in chat, used to speedrun this non-manipulated. Those were dark days. For those of you who don't know, the Dragon Warrior vanilla unmanipulated speedrun is usually around 6-ish hours for, you know, most people. There are some times that are faster. The world record is, what, 5 hours and 15 minutes?
Yes. By
this one right here, Nest Cardinality, Miracle Run. But yes, it's quite the gauntlet of lots of grinding and a little bit of advancing the plot to go through.
I think those were excellent days for the record. So Error took the world record on Dragon Warrior spring or summer of 2014 with a time of 6 hours and 10 seconds. It was so close to sub 6. But that record held for close to half a year. And I watched that run a couple times, and I really liked it.
So JJ went down to the Swamp Cave. I see he already does have the Fairy Flute from the coordinates, so I assume he's just going to do some research, sort of to see what's around and what he might want to choose final grind on. He still does have a little bit of homework to do as far as gathering all of the rest of the necessary items, and the sword might still be on their mind. But you have to wonder now, I don't believe we've seen the bottom of the grave for either player yet, and I know that Centroid hasn't seen the bottom of the mountain cave yet, so now you kind of have to play with, well, do you want to gamble it to not be in the mountain cave and try Sherlock, which mathematically might be the right choice, or do you want to, well, go for the ones that you can see? So JJ goes into the Shrine Cave. He's going to be getting his Staff of Rain. And, you know, as a bit of a good routing thing here, we know that the Jerk Cave is right beside Hawksness. So if he wants to settle in there, that's fine. So Centroid goes back into Hawksness.
Just having reached level 12, I can't see exactly where the experience is between them, but Centroid being here, if he can grind a little bit on Axe Knights, and I imagine he will stay to do that.
Just needs to survive that one Dragon Lord breath, if that becomes a thing.
74 HP is enough to survive any. The maximum is 73 damage. There's the Fire Breath. Now, can he land? He attacks. That was the right decision. I was a little worried it might not hit. But there's the armor.
There's our search. There's our armor.
And it looks like he's leaving immediately. I wonder if there is a town, like Gurenham is pretty nearby, I think, so he can heal right away.
Yeah, he might want to replenish his MP right away.
Yeah, and hold on to his position. He does have low HP. He doesn't want to spend a lot of time healing, I guess, but he will heal here for a little bit of safety. And he's going about face. It looks like he is switching to grind mode. He can get at least one hurt more in here. I mean, it looks like he should heal first before he approaches. But no, he's going straight in for it. And there's the hurt more.
Meanwhile, JJ goes to the Jerk to get the Rainbow Drop, and now both will... Did we know that about the Axe Knight? I think we did.
Oh, it has heal more. I never saw that.
Forget if we had seen that or not, but yeah, that's kind of a tricky situation to be in. Because often, your hurt more is going to kill it in one hit, but when it doesn't, now if you have a chance of it healing up to full, you kind of wonder what you want to do with that.
Yeah, you can attack and then hurt more, especially after it heal mores, but you always have to worry about that Dragon Lord breath followed by missed hurt more.
Yeah, that's why it's a little bit of a tricky situation.
But JJ, having caught up in items, now has the Rainbow Drop. He's in pretty good shape and an advantageous position at the moment.
Yeah, despite everything through all of the challenges both players have faced, JJ has been slowly creeping ahead, and I think it's about 2,000 experience ahead now.
So it is a full level as we progress into the endgame level.
Yeah, the Swamp Cave boss was the Blue Dragon, and still is the Blue Dragon. They haven't rotated since I said that.
No.
No, they don't really change.
It takes a few years for that to happen.
Or at least another seed roll.
There's forms to fill out and this whole big process.
Bureaucracy.
Politics.
Not what you want to hear about in Alfgard.
JJ looks like he is opting to go for the Axe Knights, and I can't blame him. Here's level 14.
Looking for some big stats, and more notably, possibly even looking for heal more. So we've got 1 power, 12 agility, 10 hit points, 7 MP, and no heal more still. I imagine that's a huge driving factor in not wanting to go check out Sherlock, just because it's really difficult to make a dive in there when you already know that a lot of these bigger enemies have problem spells and, you know, fire, things like that, and you can't heal yourself fully.
So both players have silver shields and plenty of HP, but the strength and MP are not high enough to beat the Dragon Lord, and the agility is a little lacking as well, but that is going to straighten itself out as they get the next level or two, most likely.
Yeah, so heal more is guaranteed. All of your spells, in fact, are guaranteed to come by level 16, so essentially we've got a 50-50 chance for JJ to learn heal more within the next 2 levels. But yeah, as noted, it's probably not going to be the level to make it there based on their stats. They also do both of the Death Necklace, but you're also looking at needing to gain about 30 more HP from level 14, depending on whether or not you'll want to use that. So we'll see how the seed rolls out. Sometimes you can just get this big surprise gain in the middle of nowhere that's just like, well, I had this thought before, but now that's completely reversed how I was going to look at this, and now it's time to go for a completely different reason. Oh, but JJ does seem to be slinking over to Sherlock here.
Yeah, the Axe Knight is not the most appealing option. You can't blame anyone for second-guessing it, and JJ looks like he wants to dive for the sword and fight blue dragons instead.
Yeah, looks like enough is enough. No more dealing with pesky fire breath, and I don't blame them, especially when you don't heal more. That's really not fun to deal with. And as we are agreeing, a few of us in chat, JJ is diving down.
Another missed hurt more against an Axe Knight for Centroid. It's just unfortunate RNG.
Yes, there are also 3 chests outside Sherlock? Yes, there are. The Stones of Sunlight Cave, as I kept bringing up and then did forget. But mathematically speaking, Sherlock has more chests. And, you know, also they're very closer together, a little bit longer of a walk. But we'll see how the dive goes. A lot of it is going to depend on Oh, right, we did see the bottom of the mountain cave. I'm mistaken by that. But yeah, it all depends on what's in here. Sherlock can be not too bad as long as they don't encounter too many of the enemies with either the Dragon Lord breath or, you know, the ones that are harder to run from. Yeah, if I'm remembering properly, I believe JJ saw the entire mountain cave, but didn't see either of the two lower chests in the grave. And then Centroid saw the second last chest in the grave, but not the last one of the mountain cave. So I suppose, yeah, in that way, each player is missing 3 chests, if I mathed properly there.
So unfortunately for Centroid, he knows the blue dragon is not an option. He gave it a shot, and it doesn't have anything like stop spell to help. And the flame sword just not doing enough damage just yet. So Centroid off to another grind option.
Meanwhile, JJ is choosing to navigate Sherlock in the dark, something that some players will utilize. And oh, Centroid also seems to be thinking that, hey, maybe I'll give Sherlock a try. The encounter rate definitely isn't the same for grinding as far as, you know, a guaranteed enemy every second step. Oh, over on JJ's side, 109 excellent damage on the Stone Man. So both players diving Sherlock now. By the way, I guess we should start rolling our favorite game. Where's the sword, everybody? Now, of course, we're not guaranteed that it's in Sherlock, but feel free to cast your guesses on where you think the sword is going to be.
And if you're feeling especially bold, feel free to guess that it's still in Garen's grave. 2 chests to go.
Or hey, Stones of Sunlight Cave, why not?
Why not?
What do you say, Nest Cardinality?
I mean, personally, you know, because they're both going into the right now, into Sherlock, and JJ having an experience advantage, I want it to be in Garen's grave so that Centroid has a shot at creating another imbalance to hopefully come back into this thing. I'm going to go with the bottom chest in the grave.
And as always, I always choose the very middle chest in the Sherlock's treasury. So we found the beautiful 1313 level from Centroid.
Yeah, the experience difference has gotten a little bit bigger, and that was, again, because of the unfortunate luck Centroid was facing earlier on. Both players should progress fairly evenly as they dive into Sherlock. Looks like both players opting to not fight too much. Nice dodge from an Armored Knight there by Centroid.
So JJ eventually did opt to use Radiant. I'm not sure if you just got caught in a little nook there, or is choosing some advanced strategy to check the vanilla chest first, casting Radiant later, so you don't have to cast it a second time.
He was in the nook.
Yeah, but advanced strategy here. I do that in the grave sometimes. If I know I'm going all the way to the bottom, I walk to the top without it and then turn on Radiant after that.
I've done the grave in the dark a couple times. It's satisfying to know that...
So JJ searches for a staircase, but he can't find it despite the fact that he's standing on it.
It's unfortunate because both players are in Sherlock and really, really close together in location. It's unfortunate that they're not both going after the Dragon Lord right now. That would be such a cool finish to see.
That would be, though I think we would need a very borderline level. Like, pretty much at that point, we would need a very borderline level JJ skip and Centroid would choose to go for.
Right.
Well, that's an interesting thought that UpToNG says in chat. They should make it so the Radiant shows what's in the vanilla chest as you walk by. That could only work, though, if Radiant is at maximum efficiency when you walk by.
X-Ray 2 advanced for Dragon Warrior 1.
I learned that spell once. Never did find out what it did until after.
Yeah, I don't think I ever used it as a kid.
So JJ is one enemy away from the next level. Not one enemy, but one Sherlock enemy.
And he's got it here, choosing to fight the Star Wyvern as Centroid runs away from a Star Wyvern. he's going to gain some ground on the distance to the treasury in the basement.
And so right with level 15, 1 power, no agility, 10 hit points, 4 MP, a new spell. What could it be? We found Heal More, folks.
Heal More is JJ's, but unfortunately the only stat he really gained was hit points, which is the only one that he doesn't really need right now.
So I don't know, 20 more, and we've got some Death Necklace in play.
So both players in nearly the same place. Centroid going the wrong way for the treasury. I'm sure he'll double back once he realizes that this is not the time for the Dragon Lord.
Oh, I think we just barely missed the high five there when Centroid turned.
Just barely. There he goes.
All right. Maybe we still have our chance at the high five.
Looks like a double Hurtmore for this Armored Knight, and I really, hopefully, none of the Hurtmores miss, because... Oh, he's choosing to attack, but the Armored Knight has Heal More! Wow.
Yeah, we did know that one, unfortunately. So here we go. JJ gets some gold in the very bottom. We found the herb in the bottom middle. Bottom left, we get a key. That's either a key or an herb. We found wings in the top, and in middle we have another key. It's not here, folks.
Well, my guess just got a little more likely. 4 chests remaining.
So this is where you have to really dig deep and think, where do I want to look? You have all these bottom chests.
Go to the grave, brave Centroid.
Though unfortunately, Centroid didn't get any of that information, and I assume might want to check out Sherlock again.
I assume JJ will go straight to the vanilla chest before looking anywhere else.
Yeah, he's got the proximity on that one.
Still continuing to fight Star Wyverns on his way. Seems to work out well. He's still got 28 MP. He didn't enter with much more, so things have been pretty efficient for him so far. And yeah, if Centroid does feel that he's behind, my guess is he would progress into Sherlock and hope to find the sword down there.
I mean, mathematically speaking, it's probably what you want to do. So we are headed down to the vanilla sword chest on JJ's side. Got a 1 in 3 chance of it appearing there, though for him, he hasn't opened anything else.
1 in 4. Right?
I think we're only unaware of 3 chests. The Stones of Sunlight Cave, the bottom of the grave, and this one, the vanilla.
Bottom of the grave has 2, right?
Yeah, Centroid had gotten to the Cursed Bell chest, though.
Well, in that case...
Mm-hmm. Centroid does have that information, but Centroid is back in Hawksness now that I'm busy talking about other things. Maybe she can grind a little more, maybe hoping for Heal More. Though, we do know it's 2 levels away, and that's almost 3,000 experience on his side. That's how many Accidents is that?
How much experience?
About 3,000.
Oh, wow. Well, hang on. 23, I believe.
For those of you who don't know, it's a very, very lovely strategy to calculate anything by number of enemies in Hawksness's worth of experience.
Actually, 23 would, I think, give you 2990, so really
That's
close.
fine, because he was actually at less than 3,000.
Alright.
We're at 4903 here, and aiming for 7,500 for the Heal More. Alright, so we're almost down to the vanilla chest. Got a few little ziggy-zaggies to go. It's funny, I find I don't come down here too often, so sometimes I forget the way, and I wonder, oh, is this right? But then you take a few little staircases, and it is.
I think Centroid has 2 levels to go before Heal More.
Yes. That's 7,500.
Gotcha.
Yes. Meanwhile, we're, I think, around 1,000 experience away from JJ's next level. And we're almost at the sword. Chest. And it's the sword! So for anybody who did guess vanilla, let's just take a little peek up. Pyronex and Data Plate guessed the vanilla chest. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else, but congratulations to you. You get some applause. I hope you enjoyed your prize. It was made by me, all by myself, with my 2 hands.
It's unfortunate. Centroid is using after the Axe Knight heal mode, I don't think it's possible to defeat him then. What you want to do is attack first and then hurt more. But he did get away with it that time, so another Axe Knight down, and he is 2 away from the next level.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you pretty much need to kind of get lucky like he did with the Axe Knight choosing not to heal himself. He won't always, but often. And so now we're going to see what JJ decides to do now, having found... So Centroid gets to level 14. I don't think there was anything too exciting about this level. A little more agility, a little more HP, but, you know, nothing to really make you go.
JJ's still not strong enough to win. He could be going back down south to see if what the mini-boss is, but, you know, we've seen things like Armored Knights and Axe Knights. None of the weaker enemies are grindable without magic, so I think he's just going to take... Yeah, he's going to Death Warp here, and I assume he will go back to the Swamp Cave and fight Blue Dragons. That's my guess.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. I mean, sometimes it is alright to investigate the enemy down at the very bottom of the mini-boss before the Dragon Lord, but especially by that point when he was out of MP, you can't hope for very much at that point. So. Also, it's kind of a risky gamble to go out and fight the mini-boss just because it takes so long to get down there. So if you really can find something that's, like, self-sufficient where, you know, maybe they have, like, 2 very small spells like Stop Spell, Hurt, or something like that that don't matter too much, sometimes it's worth it, but it is a big time commitment to get there. So looks like we're going to be seeing a lot of Hawksness. Let's see. Oh yeah, so JJ's only about 7,000-ish away from the next level. That's not too many Axe Knights. So as you can see on the stats down at the bottom, our defense power is showing in green. That's generally, you know, it means that's an okay number to go fight the Dragon Lord at. Everything else is still in the orange. There's always going to be a little bit of variance. I mean, your HP at this point, you're already able to survive, you know, at least 1 hit from the Dragon Lord before you'll have to heal after the second one. But other than that, there's a little bit of variance in between strength and MP. It's sort of a ratio that you have to follow to figure out exactly when is right to fight the Dragon Lord. HP can become into a factor at that point, depending on if you think you'll get a lot of double attacks in. There are a lot of little things to work out, but either way, still got a little bit of a way to go before we can consider going back down to the bottom of Sherlock Castle.
It looks like this Axe Knight will give JJ his next level. I was wrong about him going to the Swamp Cave. I guess, you know, the odds against an Axe Knight are not that bad, and he is pretty safe now with armor and all the HP he has in a town nearby, so he is opting for the quicker kills rather than the more experience. 5 power, 2 response speed, another huge HP gain, and small other gains. It basically means he knows he needs at least 1 more level.
Though with that 125 HP at this point, the Death Necklace is slowly creeping into play here, folks.
Getting close.
130 is apparently the safe number to use it at. Now, if you over, you might use it at 1 and be like, what did I do this for? I've only got 96 HP in front of the Dragon Lord. But depending on the situation, that might not even be too bad if your defense is higher or you have some MP to spare. Though I think they're a little too borderline at this time to consider anything crazy like that. And at 125, I think that's still a little too risky. 128, though, it is tempting. Alright, Nest Cardinality, how many Axe Knights until level 17?
Putting me on the spot. Well, JJ needs 2,000 more experience. So he needs 17 more Axe Knights.
Alright. And, I mean, given that the town of Gavenham is right next to it, really not too much to worry about since you can heal right away. All you need to worry about is your hurting and the Dragon Lord breath hitting you.
It was actually 16. It's okay.
It's okay. Maybe he'll fight like a, you know, a bonus enemy along the way. Yeah, it is a little bit brutal with the Dragon Lord Breath and the Heal more. I mean, even with Dragon Lord Breath in itself, that wouldn't be too bad by itself because you can just hurt more, and if it happens to survive, you can just attack it. But if it can heal itself up to full, you sort of have to alter your strategy a bit. Possibly choosing to attack it and then hurt more after you've already hurt more once. So got double golems on both sides. Got the fairy flute on the Centroid side to make it a little bit safer, and whereas JJ can just sort of keep going. I've got the sword. It's got baby breath. I believe in myself, says JJ. Yeah, it is very possible that JJ's go time level could be 17. And you also have to, wonder what they're thinking in that situation. Both runners have come up across a fair number of challenges to the point where, if you're facing off against another runner that's 4-0, you might be worried at that point and thinking that you're behind.
Of course, in all fairness, in JJ's position, he knows that he's not nearly strong enough to go yet. There is only one option, and because MP is his weakest stat, there is no choice that involves going into Sharlock first. Like, he really needs the MP boost first. I mean, he would basically be hoping for a minimum 5 HP Death Necklace and a heck of a lot of power. But I think that would be too big a risk. And I think the Axe Knights are coming so quickly, I think he's just going to finish off that level and then recheck his stats.
Yeah, though I feel like a little bit more HP, a little more MP, it probably would be okay at the next level, depending. Of course, it doesn't depend on the combination, but we're very close to being on the cusp of Death Necklace happy time. Anyway, Centroid makes it to level 15. We'll get the glorious news of Heal More. So I wonder if that'll change his strategy as far as going into Sharlock or staying around. We'll look at our stats and then fight another Axe Knight. Yeah, we don't know what the Guardian in Sharlock is yet, but yeah, it's quite the journey to get down there. So I do remember in Sharlock they fought some decent number of the Star Wyvern and the werewolf. They were able to keep the experience going on the way down looking for the sword. So if it's any bit of a silver lining for Centroid, there's a chance that I want to believe that he would check the vanilla chest after finding out the Sherlock Treasury has nothing in it, just because it's the next closest one.
I think he would.
Yeah. But that is also another, it'll use up either another torch if you don't have one, that could be a problem, or possibly Radiant to use up some MP. But it also would depend on what level he goes down. If he waits until it's go time, that might be different.
I didn't see any serious problems in Sharlock, so I'm basically expecting JJ to have a victorious dive once his level is high enough, unless, it's a really borderline level and he gets bad RNG. So that's the possibilities that we're looking at right now. Both players basically in grind mode. Centroid only missing Erdrick's sword. It is in Sharlock, but it's back at the vanilla chest.
So JJ is very close to the next level, has only 5 MP left.
He's gonna fight a wizard, and he needs one more after for the next level. He's looking for it. Yeah, looks like he's just walking around to find something a little easier than what his Dragon Lord nets. But unfortunately for him, the Wraith Knight will dodge his first attack, but he does get the next one, and he does get to the next level. Can we do it in S Cardinality? No power. 7 hit points and no MP. Wow. 0 power, 0 MP. I love it! You're not MTI. Oh, you're right. That is what we will call an MTI level, a true MTI level, when you have 0 stats gained in 2 separate categories. Well, you're strong enough with the Death Necklace, but it's close, so we could be looking at this situation. JJ could be a little worried, perhaps, if nothing else, based solely on how long it took him to count out the coordinates. He could be worried about where he is and could feel like he's in a rush to go. We'll see what kind of decision he makes here. Does he have the Death Necklace? He does. Okay. Though I believe if he's healing here, he might be opting to go for the next level. He's thinking. He's thinking. He's just wondering if he should tip the door guy at the inn. Serious decisions.
No, he probably is taking a real good look at the numbers here. The arrow is blinking, so we do know the stream isn't frozen. Meanwhile, Centroid continues to grind away. He's about 1,200-ish away from the 200-ish from the next level. I shouldn't say two numbers in a row like that.
I hope he's okay. If it's taking this long, he might have had to step away from the computer for one reason or another.
Or he's doing some very long division right now. There we go. Long division complete. But yeah, it looks like he doesn't like the odds and is choosing to get another level.
Yeah, I keep looking at it and I can't blame him. There are going to be no doubt. Be a little risky, but and only 79 agility.
But it's in the green. What could go wrong?
Did he really, like, I don't think we saw any red dragons in Sherlock, did we? I don't know, like, he's taking a look at it again. He is strong enough to win, and you would be a slight favorite. There are just some things that could go wrong, like, you're not a huge favorite. And that's the issue. It's dangerous, but, I mean, this is Randomizer, and typically, yeah, he's gonna go for it.
There we have it. We're casting return.
I think it makes perfect sense, given everything that he's seen from his own seed. I can't blame him for going when he's the favorite. Sherlock doesn't look that bad, and, he's gotta... It's not a big risk, and he's gotta take it.
Yeah, and there's another good point brought up by Up2MG in chat. You could potentially want to fight your way down. If you do get more attack power, that could definitely help you. The only problem is if you fight your way down, and then you get, like, no attack power and get more MP, what do you do in that situation? Do you choose to flee and get out? Oh, actually, maybe he's going to be fighting the blue dragon? Well, unfortunately, there's a guard that really doesn't want him to get through, unless he'll be saving.
I'm not sure what he's doing. I'm not sure why he's saving.
You know, just to tell the king about what it's on, so it's on the...
I have no idea.
On the deeds.
I can't think of a reason why he would save. I do understand going upstairs, though, to move that guard out of... That made sense. What's down here?
Isn't this the swamp cave?
Maybe.
I thought this was the swamp cave down here, and we're going to be seeing the blue dragon again.
Well, he just went right up, right up. Okay, it's probably the swamp cave.
He's just doing a fun little shimmy. You know, for good luck. Maybe he's doing a strange jig to take out the MP of the others.
Okay, it's the swamp cave.
Anyway, looks like Centroid will be closing in on level 16 at this point. We're not quite borderline enough yet to want to go. But...
No, there's really no chance at level 16. I'm sure he'll get another level. Like, you would have to use the death necklace and risk having, I think, 93 HP. And that would be a little scary.
Anyway, we are not going to be grinding any blue dragons. The bottom of...
So JJ with a real chance to win here. We'll have to see what the RNG of Sherlock provides, including the RNG of the Dragon Lord himself. This is definitely close enough. JJ is the favorite to beat the Dragon Lord if he starts at full stats, but it is not a huge margin. It's just big enough that, in my opinion, going to fight him is the right play here.
Yeah, and having saved before going down there, a bit of an extra cushion, just in case you don't feel like walking through Sherlock with barely any health. You know, you can reset and no longer be cursed. Also, I suppose that's necessary with the Swamp Cave being in the Sherlock or in Tantagel.
Oh well, you see, when I said I couldn't think of a reason that he saved. That actually makes sense. In a Death Necklace seed, if you don't want to be wearing it after, like, if things go wrong, it actually makes sense. You can reset, get it right back, you get your torch back too, and it's a little faster than just waiting for the death animation.
I like getting my torch back. Waylon always takes it from me. What's with that? How's that even a token of your love? She gives me this nice little GPS and I give her this little stick. I don't know. It's not even on fire. It's an unlit torch.
I'm sure she'll find a way to light it. There's gotta be a flame somewhere in Tentagel.
She could just ask the blue dragon or something from the basement.
They've become good friends.
No, I don't believe Breckenry was ever found in this one. It's off in a field somewhere. Somewhere in the distance.
Alright, I'm gonna run the math on the Dragonlord fight again. For fun.
You like fun. Math is fun. So JJ is fighting some enemies on the way down. He's about, what, 1,400 away from the next level? So if he can find a lot of the weaker enemies, then he could have a chance at making it. And again, if it gives him attack power, then that'll definitely help. HP could be a bit of a boost, but at this point, he's mostly looking for attack power in hopes of making his heal mores a little more comfy.
And JJ is going to grind another level. Going to make the battle totally safe. As I say, he is the favorite, but it's by no means guaranteed. If he gets back attacked, the Dragonlord might be a slight favorite in that spot. It's kind of close, and JJ looking to remove that little bit of uncertainty. I am sure level 18 will make the battle totally safe for him.
And yes, as asked in chat by Road City Saint, both of these players are 4-0. Neither of them has lost a match in the tournament yet, but one of them will tonight.
So I don't think they'll miss out on anything from losing here. It's just pretty much a free round now that they are where they are in the Swiss bracket.
Yeah, it'll help with placement, but other than that... So on JJ's side, we have a little bit of the blue dragon's hit. I assume we're freezing, and will hopefully be fixed momentarily. Meanwhile, on Centroid's side, we are just working our way up to the next level.
Thy hit.
Just one.
Just one.
To be fair, it's probably multiple ones. Probably just having a little bit of choppy internet on that side. So look at that experience. 1-1-1-1-1. Beautiful. Oh, and ruined. No, we knew that would be a little bit more experience than that. But thy hit. So we can only assume that JJ is, crawling through the dungeons of Sherlock, fighting the Star Wyverns, fighting the wizards, hopefully avoiding the red dragons.
I'm still fighting the blue dragons.
Ah, yes. So, yeah, we are working on bringing up JJ's stream again. If by we, I mean Captain Green, our lovely restreamer.
It looks like something happened. He's out of... Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the other one.
So we continue to grind away. Just a few Axe Knights away now from Centroid's next level, and we will have to see what he believes is the correct decision for if he chooses to go to Sherlock in level 17 or chooses not to. Again, they do both have the Death Necklace. Meanwhile, on JJ's side, it appears that he did make it to the bottom of the castle in the basement now, and the experience is... What are we, 800 away from the next level?
631.
Yes.
So very close. It could have been a very risky decision, but of course he has a lead here. He's going to comfortably settle into level 18, and I expect he will have an easy victory against the Dragonlord. He hasn't lost any magic yet, but he has run into an armored knight. They do have heal more, so they're difficult to kill without hurt more, taking away a lot of his HP, and he's failing to run repeatedly. Anything could happen here. He might burn off a heal more now and hope for a better game. No, he's trying to run one more time. Now will he heal more? I think he will. No, he tried to run again! And unfortunately, the Armored Knight takes him down. He will be in a good position to finish the level on his way down, but unfortunately a little bit of a setback for him, and he's got to feel uncomfortable right now.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Centroid had reached level 17 and immediately used the wings to get back to the castle. And we are going to see what his decision is.
Can you imagine how close this will be? If Centroid actually goes at level 17, they could be fighting the Dragon Lord at the same time. It's going to be so close.
However, Centroid has not done a safety save.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. He's in go mode.
He is in go mode.
Well, guys, Centroid is actually fighting the wizard, so it looks like he will grind on his way down as well. And it's unfortunate from, given what we know. But I guess I can't blame him for making the decision either. It's probably a decision I would have made as well. I know I've made that decision in similar positions.
So, another thing to note, Centroid still does not have the Edric sword, so that's going to be a little bit of an issue on his end. He's going to have to find that before going on to fight the Dragon Lord.
Absolutely.
And as we do know, he is probably most likely going to check the downstairs basement first, and then we'll have to backtrack for the Vanilla Sword. So there's a very good chance he is making this dive twice.
Or once and a half.
Either or. What constitutes half a Sherlock dive?
Going from the sword chest.
Alright. Yeah, if he can keep his MP all through that. Though that's another thing to know too, because he also only has the flame sword, fighting the way down is not going to be quite as easy as with JJ's sword. Yes, the Edric sword is in the Vanilla sword.
It'd be interesting if they got nothing from this next level. I'm sure JJ would try and fight the Dragon Lord. And, well, I mean, Centroid probably would too. But Centroid, you really can't blame him for, his decision to fight for the next level is almost automatic just for the fact that he doesn't have the sword yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to commit to diving when you don't even know if the weapon is going to be down there for certain.
Yeah, and also it's a very big commitment to go for the sword dive without using any MP at all, but sometimes that might want to be your goal if, you think you're ready to fight the Dragon Lord and still need to get your weapon.
So I'm just trying to analyze all angles for both players. Ultimately, both players fought extremely well, and we are nearing the close of this race.
Yeah, so JJ is, I think, one enemy away from the next level? Where are we?
I think so.
And, any Sherlock enemy will... Whether or not he chooses to fight the next one, well, it's a wizard, so he will. Alright, so let's see what level 18 does bring us.
No power! Incredible!
Dear me! Now, some consolation here. That extra health will help a lot with potential for double attacks. But yeah, that's a little bit of a fun level. Can you hear my air quotes?
I think it'll get him an extra 10 or 11 HP after the conversion.
Yeah, and that's a nice little cozy thing to work with.
He's for sure just gonna go and fight the Dragon Lord.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still potentially a very close battle, and we'll see what kind of decision he makes if another Armored Knight tries to stop him.
Yeah, now the good news is, for him, he's not going to be fighting anything else at this point, I don't think, so he, for the most part, other than failed runs, isn't going to be short HP, and now with 146, at least he'll have a little bit more of a...
What a race this has been! We're approaching the 2-hour mark. You have to imagine both runners are extremely nervous at this point, getting hurt more fairly early, and still having to see go this long.
Yeah, Matt, do you remember about 2 hours ago when we were discussing about this nice start with the 19 strength? You really never know how they're going to turn out.
I really like it when that happens.
Mm-hmm. Hey, this is going to be an easy start, but wait, we have a surprise for you.
So Centroid, having to heal more against an armored knight, he is now unburdened by the restraint of not being able to use MP. He can now use it freely, gain a little faster, and get down to the sword a little bit safer. And of course, he'll be able to wrap up that level. I think he will get the next level before JJ has defeated the Dragon Lord if he's successful. So we'll still see some full speed action here on both sides. JJ now very close to the Dragon Lord, unhindered by armored knights for the time being.
Now we get to find out what the mini-boss is.
No problem with a red dragon. He should get through it in either 3 or 4.
Yeah, at this point in the game, they're not so scary when your attack power is higher and your HP can definitely survive along with your defense a few hits from them. Now with 2 herbs left, he'll be able to heal himself up to max after considering the Death Necklace. So, we put on the Death Necklace, thy body is being squeezed.
And as before, I put JJ as the favorite Dragon Lord here, and I would feel absolutely comfortable in the decision to come and fight at this point.
So the Dragon Lord very kindly offers JJ half of the world, but JJ chooses not to, and the Dragon Lord insults him, using his words. That's very mean, Dragon Lord. So JJ, trying to use the magic key in battle, realizes that there is no more herbs left. So we go into Dragon Lord 2 with only 55 health, and unfortunately gets back attacked with Dragon Lord Breath. An unfortunate start.
Wow, so losing 2 attacks is going to put this battle very close. It doesn't look like he has enough HP to hope for any double attacks. But he did 18 on his first roll. A good start. We'll just have to wait and see what the numbers say. 33. And he gets a double attack just like that. He's 43. A little bit more breathing room, a little bit more. $53. Meanwhile, Centroid approaching the bottom. About to get the bad news. JJ up to 66. Only 4 heal mores left. It's a very scary situation here. That's 80. I think with that double attack, he's going to pull it through, but it's so hard to say, and it is going to come down to RNG to the 92.
Yeah, he might be given a situation where he can choose to try and attack at a somewhat risky place, but in a situation like this, when you have like 65, you know your next attack is probably not going to be very questionable, and, you know, there's no risking it at 26, because that's just impossible.
That's 110, and now 128. It's going to be so close, but, yeah. Good luck is all I can say. It could go either way. Let's see what happens. That's 142. Will he do enough on this last attack? Yes!
Does 16, and he does defeat the Dragon Lord.
158 was enough. That miracle double attack saved him. Centroid discovering the bad news about the sword. GG to JJ Schmidt winning this race and becoming the only 5-0 in the tournament. GG, JJ.
And JJ Schmidt finishes in first place with a time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 52 seconds.
Heck of a roller coaster long seed after a very comfortable start.
And so we've got Centroid taking a moment to pause, congratulating JJ in the SR chat, and then continuing on, going down to the bottom.
Only one more enemy required for the next level. He has he has lost 2 heal mores, so no matter what, he will be heal after getting the sword and finishing this level. And then he'll have his shot to wrap up the race.
And so it'll be interesting to see if he chooses to go at this level or the next one. As we saw, JJ's fight was super close with the extra HP, so it would be a little bit intimidating to go at this level, I think. But I mean, at this point, he, needs to. Oh, he's like right at the next level anyway.
Yep.
Just about. He just needs to re-heal his HP.
He could come look for an enemy right here, like a skeleton, and it looks like that might be what he's trying to do. Only found a slime.
And I hear a sound. It sounds like we've got JJ Schmidt in chat with us. GG, sir.
Oh, thank you. It's a crazy ending to it.
Yeah, that was quite the roller coaster of a seed. I mean, starting out with 19 strength, I believe it was, looked like very promising, but then, a lot of hurdles right from the beginning.
Yeah, it kind of sucked that it was all grass, and if you tried to get to any of the forest or hills, that there were golems and axe knights and everything that would just kill you.
Yeah, right off the bat, there was, plenty of enemies who were ready to Dragon Lord Breath hurt you, or even just kind of punch you down for a little bit.
So, and then with the 2 gold chests at the start, when I finally got to the point where I wanted to cross that swamp and just check, I had a little freak out that there's 2 towns right there, and we started with 1,200 gold.
Yeah, found it just a little too late to consider resetting at that point. Though fortunately for you on your side, you were actually the first one to find the 2 towns.
I wondered about that. It was just scary. Especially...
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, it was just scary, especially, and then seeing the grave right there, and I don't know, there was just a lot of possibilities pretty close to the castle, so if he'd have been a little more daring at the start and gotten some luck, he could have been 20-30 minutes ahead of me, is what I felt like.
Yeah, given how the seed looked like it went for both of you guys, it wouldn't surprise me if both of you were feeling like you could be behind.
Well, I thought I was behind the whole time, which is kind of standard. You just always kind of feel that way. But especially when that Axe Knight decided to go Uber mode on me, on that, Armored Knight in the basement there, on the first attempt at that dive, I thought that was it for sure.
So how did you feel about that Dragon Lord fight? I mean, that looked pretty intense from our end.
There was a brief pause there where I thought it might be hopeless.
I was certainly worried when he back attacked you after the HP, so it was like losing 2 attacks in the start. But then you got the double attack, and then it was right back.
Yeah, I was surprised to get a double attack that early, and then I think I got back-to-back 10s, which was almost the minimum, if I'm doing the math right.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was scary. That was the point where I thought that I may as well just make a decision right here if I'm going to start hurt mooring and start over, or if I'm just going to just see what happens. So I guess I made the right choice. I think I only did like 154 damage if I was counting right, so I got super lucky that it had low HP.
Oh, I was counting here, but I don't remember what the final total was.
158, I believe?
That sounds right.
Oh, was it that high? I knew I had, I think I knew I had a chance that it was going to cross the 150 mark on that last attack.
Yeah.
But Yeah, crazy seed.
So Centroid is just heading down now. He's at level 18 sword. I was surprised that neither of you tried to finish the grave to look for the sword. An interesting decision. The thought process going into Sharlock, obviously, it has more treasure chests, and you can grind on more reliable enemies in the process. But of course, there's also the mix of danger that some of the less runnable enemies will strike you down. But yeah, an interesting decision process, and it seemed to work out pretty well.
So JJ, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm guessing that maybe the bottom levels of the grave were easier, but that top level with Armor Knights and Red Dragons, in my head, it was like I might as well just go to Charlotte because it can't get any worse.
Yeah, we did see that top floor of the grave many times. So there were a few questions in chat about what your plan was if you had failed that second Dragon Lord attempt once you had put on the Death Necklace but hadn't had the safety save. Did you have any thoughts about that at all?
That's a great question. My plan was, I guess I know Brecconary's on the first continent, and I know kind of where I haven't been, so... But I think it wasn't too ridiculous that I could just walk to a town and rest up and make another dive either, so I don't know. It would have been debatable.
Oh, so was it not actually on two separate islands then?
I think if I'm understanding the new build right, that if the swamp cave is in the basement, then Brecconary has to be on the first continent.
Oh, yes, but then you lose your, once you lost your Death Necklace, you'd have to probably go train a lot more to be able to beat the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, that's true. Those last two levels were brutal.
Yeah, they were 0 attack power, 0 attack. What is this game? So I'm actually kind of curious, when the big boost will come, because you sort of think that if you get 2 zeros in a row, due for a big boost in the next level. That's definitely not how it works, but, it just feels right.
Yeah, it had to even out at some point, but it was getting to the fatigue level. Had to take a brief pause during the Axe Knight grind.
Mm-hmm.
The longer seeds, you just start getting into, I guess, a haze where you're focused on the singular thing of progressing with experience, and it's just difficult then when a curveball comes to think quickly.
Yeah, we saw you take a long think on those stats. Anyway, as we continue to talk here, Centroid is grinding his way down to the next level. I believe he's about 600 away from the next.
Yeah, I think he's doing it because he lost one of his heal mores.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to try and go for it with 8 heal mores.
Oh wait, no he hasn't.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're right. He hasn't.
But maybe he just feels he's so close at this point, and also maybe he thinks it's the correct play just because, 2 zeros in a row. This is the level! As ETAP does mention in chat.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, the hit points, I think the hit points put me over on that last level to where the Death Necklace was the play, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So. But yeah, it's crazy going MTI back to back.
So initially, were you planning on going down at 17? Or were you just thinking fighting the way down was the thing to do at that point?
Well, I was defense breaking most of the enemies that I'd seen. So I was actually debating it on the walk over. I'm thinking, well, if I just fight the defense broken enemies, that's about 19 enemies, 18, 19 enemies that I'd have to kill. And that's a lot of time, and I felt behind, but I thought if I just got that level, it would be worth the time, which it was not. But the stats, I feel like if the stats are on the edge, just start walking down and see what happens. That's my philosophy on it.
Yeah, and in the end, the extra health helped you. Anyway, we've got 3 power, 6 more hit points, and 24 MP for level 19. So you would think that's the boon, but
And it sort of is, but unfortunately you cannot replenish that at the bottom of Sherlock Castle.
He'll be fine. He's gonna win.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Three powers more than.
Yeah, that'll definitely help, and I'm kind of curious what his herb situation is like as well.
So not to go too off topic, but being an uncultured American, I thought I'd tell you a funny story since it happens to be you and Ness Cardinality commentating.
All right.
I just thought Big Zed was a cool nickname that you guys had. I had no idea until today at my age that all the other English-speaking countries in the world just refer to Zed as a Z as Zed.
Also, that's a very relevant story. So, making no trouble getting through the Red Dragon. Now we are just going to take the Dragon Lord by storm, is the dream.
Remember to use the Death Necklace. And maybe use an herb. He's just sitting there for now. I'm not sure what he's doing.
We're having a think.
Just contemplating life.
Just whacking the Dragon Lord with his sword. Boop, boop, boop,
Hey,
boop.
hey.
There we go. Oh, he's got 6 herbs, so that probably bodes well. Though...
Where's he going?
No
he's
death
healing
necklace?
a little. Well, I thought he had it. Oh, so he's gonna try the fight without. I need to recheck the math on this now. I'll do that really quickly for you guys. I mean, it's gonna take 14 attacks on average, and he has 12 heal mores, so... Oh yeah, so it's a freebie with all the HP he has.
Yeah, there are going to be... Everything's essentially going to be a double attack. I mean, eventually it does get to the point where having so much HP doesn't really do anything because you never heal yourself up all the way. But, like, 152 is a pretty nice number because then even when you get down to, say, like, 47 or something like that, you can safely heal and you're not wasting any, any could-be recovered HP.
Yeah, he gets an automatic extra attack to start as well, so it's a double that looks like a triple. And he's already virtually guaranteed. Any double attack he gets from now will just clinch it, and he's got so many opportunities to get one.
Though, as Up to NG does note in chat, he has potentially the 12 heal mores, but he only has the MP for 8. Or had at the time. He's already used 2 of them now.
Did I say he had 12?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so he started, I think, with 9, right?
Or 9, yes, sorry.
Yeah. So having to do 14 or 15 attacks, it's actually going to be fairly close. We're going to hope for some double attacks here. Here's one good shot where he should be able to get a double attack out of this. There's the Fire Breath, and he's at 48. I hope he attacked. No, don't do it.
So 48 is, the first risky number to attack the Dragon Lord at. He can do a maximum of 48 damage to you with the Dragon Lord Breath, and usually not more than that physically. Occasionally, but not in this case.
So he did just get a double after that. I'm not sure exactly how close it is now. I should have been counting damage directly. But hopefully he will pull through. A lot of large Fire Breath, unfortunately.
Yeah, and smaller attacks just at the wrong time.
Now here we go. 127. He should have a great shot at a double Fire Breath. Let's see an attack. There's an attack. He's not going.
Yeah, I can understand where 45 would be a very borderline decision for people. It's not an easy hit to make, but he does kill the Dragon Lord with a heal more to spare.
So give him credit, he was doing the math. I didn't know the numbers. I didn't see how much HP, how much damage he had done, and he knew that he could be safe about it. He had an extra heal more at the end. And GG to Centroid, a great race. A great race on a long seed.
And Centroid finishes in second place with a time of 2 hours, 18 minutes, and 3 seconds. So, congratulations to both of these runners for defeating a pretty difficult seed. Early big strength, early hurt more, and yet still became a 2-hour seed, because sometimes that is just what the game just throw at you.
The fun police were rampant.
Yeah, there was a lot of that, a lot of Dragon Breath. It was, and of course, you know, the Dragon Lord Breath enemy fighting the Dragon Lord Breath enemy guarding the armor itself. So we're just waiting now for Centroid to join us here in the interview booth. Anyway, as we're, you know, getting closer to the end here, please be sure to give 77 and Centroid41. Also, please give our restreamer Captain Green 7 a follow, our tracker Tyronex, and, well, you should maybe also follow our commentators, Ness Cardinality.
Well, you can for sure follow Spark over. She's got some great stuff going on.
Oh, wow, thanks. You're such a kind man.
Still a lot more races to come in round 5 of the Swiss. This round is going to be extended to 2 weeks due to, in part to the long weekend, we're going to have a little extra stretch for all the players to schedule their matches and get them finished before the playoff bracket is formed.
And at the same time, it's also going to give us to make sure that, you know, all of the races will be able to re-streamed and have our lovely crews working together, so all the attention can be given to, well, all the fantastic runners. So JJ, how do you feel being 5-0?
Stunned, I guess would be the right word.
Well, you worked very well to earn that position, so congratulations on that.
Yeah, the weekly helped. It was a lot of practice throughout the whole year, just seeing a lot of different situations. So it was big and a lot of luck, but hey, GG, Centroid.
Thanks, GG.
Hello, great job. A lot of difficulties in that seed, but you both overcame them.
Yeah, that was a long seed for such a strong start. Lots of strength and agility, good grinding options from the very beginning, and even early hurt. And still, there were just so many beasts all over the place. Axe Knights with Dragon Lord Breath and all the rest of it.
Yeah, and it's a tough choice because, I mean, you want to do some exploration, but then, I mean, I don't know, every time I tried, I would get wrecked and sent back to the castle, but it's like, I don't know, it's every single trip out of the castle was a toss-up. It's like, do I want to grind for a bit, or do I want to give it another run at, like, that Grave of Garanham for some items, for example. I don't know, it was just, it was just tough.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that coming from both of you, just because, you know, from every single direction you would walk, there would be, you know, enemies, just like something like a red dragon will just get in your way, Dragon Lord Breath, hurt more, pretty much anything that could have been thrown at you was.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the hit points weren't, they were decent for the beginning, but then once you got to, like, level 4, it was tough to take on wolves and stuff. The skeletons were I think the way to go, and metal scorpions if you could get some decent rolls on them. But yeah, I mean, once I got moving, it wasn't terrible. I did make some bad mistakes in the middle. I think I messed up that gold grind like twice. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was bad. Just I don't know. It was just tough, I guess.
Yeah, there were definitely, you know, a few mistakes on both of your end. Your gold grind shenanigans, and JJ had a little bit of trouble counting out the coordinates a few times.
I still don't know what I was doing wrong. I don't know. I was just like baffled by it for some reason.
That can happen sometimes.
Yeah, even just having to do the wrong twist and turn can just kind of throw you off a bit, even if the coordinates in theory shouldn't be that difficult.
I stared at that desert area and for some reason just thought there's no possible way it's on that.
But then it was just in the little baby peninsula. So, totally relevant, how about that really long bottom peninsula? Yeah.
No one remembers it but Sparko.
The little single tile one going east at the bottom.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, I do remember seeing that thing because I got confused. I'm like, is this thing going to keep going? Or, oh, I guess not. Yeah.
Yeah.
We always hope for something like Erdrick's armor to be there, and the fact that nobody to this day has seen the armor in a spot like that or over a Sparko bridge just speaks to, how vast the land is in terms of how many tiles that it could be on. But maybe someday we'll see one.
So you two both had very different approaches about fighting the Dragon Lord. JJ had went at level 18, unfortunately ran out of healing resources by Dragon Lord 1 and ended up going into Dragon Lord 2 with 55 HP and then got back attacked, essentially losing a couple attacks. And also he had used the Death Necklace at that level, whereas you, Centroid, had chosen to go at level 19 without the Death Necklace. At first, upon running the numbers, it looked a little scary, but then it turned out okay. So, very good call on your part.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still really not familiar with the whole. I had a lot of hit points, and I know some people are very good at just checking the numbers really quick and gauging what's my strategy, and I wasn't sure how many doubles I was going to get. I thought that was the strategy, was like get a lot of doubles. I got a triple to start off, which was cool. But I mean, if you calculate with the Death Necklace, with the highest roll, even with all the heal mores with the Death Necklace, I'm like, the biggest number you could get was like a 180 or something, or 190, and I'm like, I don't know how great odds that was compared to all the doubles I would get. I mean, it was a toss up almost. I just thought that was a little safer.
Well, it certainly did work out well for you. So again, very good call on your part. It was a pretty good fight, and you even ended up with a heal more to spare. So clearly, there was safety in that.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. I kind of wonder what would have happened if I would have got the sword on my first grind, or my first dive, which was like maybe halfway through the seed. That was another mistake I made, was just not being aware of the monsters that were in the area, and you got to keep your hit points at a decent level. I did. I mean, of course, I got stun locked a number of times during the seed, so it's not like that one was special or anything. But I don't know. I probably could have just healed up a little bit more in a lot of spots. I mean, on some one hand, you want to save time, but I mean, dying costs a lot of time too. So I don't know. I'm definitely gonna watch the seed again and be like, try to learn as much as I can from this.
All right. Well, any other thoughts about the seed?
No, not from me.
All right. Well,
GG
sorry, go
to
ahead.
just GG to Centroid. I had the opportunity to commentate on his and Jack Miss's race on Sunday, I think it was, and I was pretty intimidated. Very efficient play, so I feel pretty lucky to come out with a win.
Well, congratulations on having a 5-0 record in the Swiss round. Centroid, very strong placement, 4-0 going into this game. 4-1 essentially having pretty much the same result as 5-0 in the Swiss format. I believe you're going to have a bye in the first round, and we'll see what that bracket looks like in a couple weeks.
Nice. Yeah, and yeah, GG to you, JJ, as well. Yeah, congrats on going 5-0. That's pretty cool. Wonder if up 2NG is going to win as well, but I guess you probably good chance to get the 1 seed in the bracket.
Yeah, I'm rooting up to NG, and I have a little side commentary, so I'll be rooting for him. No offense to Sil, but I'll be rooting for him to go 5-0 too.
Cool. We'll see what happens.
All right, so as far as coming up tomorrow on the Dragon Warrior tournament schedule,
At 5:30 Eastern, we've got Shubinator versus Captain Green 7. At 8 o'clock, we have got the Hangry Canuck versus Azrael Ravenheart. And at 9 o'clock, we've got It's Too Early versus BTs.
Plenty more to enjoy tomorrow.
Any other thoughts for tonight, Nest Cardinality?
Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the rip-roaring seed. Very long, strong seed for both players. Hope you all have a wonderful night. For Captain Green 7 and Tyrannex behind the scenes, I'm Nest Cardinality, along with Sparkover.
That's me.
Thanks so much for joining us. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you for the next race.
Take care, everybody. Good night.